6:01. Good morning from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Jackson Williams. Titans back on the practice field yesterday as Tony Pollard, L'Jarius Sneed, and Tyler Lockett all held out of practice for rest, along with Blake Hance, Marcus Harris, Van Jefferson, Arden Key, James Lynch, Jeffrey Simmons, and Joey Sly, all nursing injuries and out of practice. J.C. Latham returned to practice on a limited basis after missing the last 4 games with a hip injury. Another NFL news last night, the Jags and Browns agreed to a trade as the Jags send cornerback Tyson Campbell and a 7th-rounder to Cleveland for cornerback Greg Newsome and a 6th in the MLB. The Blue Jays take down the Yankees 5-2 to win that series 3-1 in advance to the ALCS. For your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go on to your Thursday morning. Little jolt to start the morning there with the alarm clock. Here we go. Welcome to your Friday Junior here on Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee. Visit a locally owned location near you in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast with the 11-year NFL veteran and Vol Network analyst Ramon Foster. Jackson Williams making the show happen, catching all sorts of things. Filling in for Justin Hawkins this morning. I'm Will Bowling. Loaded show coming up for you. Austin Peay head coach Coach Ferris coming up in just about a half hour. Coach Mack previews Titans and Raiders at 7:20. Voice of the Vols, Mike Keith, returns this morning at 8:20. And the Thursday 3 in hour 4. We got a lengthy injury report. But coming off one West Coast trip and getting ready for another, Ramon Foster, your concern level on the Titans' laundry list of unavailable players yesterday is where?
Low.
That is exactly right.
Low. Well, absolutely low as heck, man. There's nothing really to talk about on a Wednesday. Everybody usually they get a day or they're nursing something. Again, I explain to people when you have the injury report, any little small thing has to go on that injury report. Also, I don't care if it's a finger, a hand, an elbow, an ankle. With Big Jeff, I was
feelings.
Feelings or DNP, did not practice. Like it's just a part of the process, man. Especially you and I spoke just a second ago after a long West Coast trip too. It's more wet rest than anything.
I understand that more now, obviously doing that travel. And I remember we had this conversation literally on the show last year about why do professional athletes really care? They get everything they need. What's the big deal? And I asked, so not trying to be overly critical, but trying to legitimately ask, why do miles make that big of a difference when you're staying in nice hotels, you've got a nice plane, all these things? It's not about even how far you go. It's about how long it takes to get home and start the next week. Because then Monday gets started a little bit later. And then Tuesday, you're dragging a little bit more. And then by the time Wednesday comes around, maybe you are ready to go for a new reset and new week. But you got a couple more things that linger because you don't get as much sleep when you get back. And all of a sudden, hey, let's just do a walkthrough Wednesday, and then we'll really hit it on Thursday. It totally changes things. And I get how difficult it is now, more intimately knowing, what that travel's like because I'm doing it with the team.
I'm glad that you say that in your position, Will, because again, it's not just the travel too. It's the performance of trying to win a football game. If you lost a football game, there's a different mindset on the way back. There's a lot that goes into it just being a football game. There are hours that you don't count that you usually be at home already rehabbing or resting. You don't get that on the airplane, as you can tell, especially after a win.
That's true.
You're up. And when Cody Barton didn't come on with us on Monday, I was just I get it. Like,
Totally.
There's rest to be had. Guys have to reshift their mindset, and no matter what, if it's like even the Sunday night games, I'll say that too. Like, they keep you wired, Will. I'm talking about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning to where you just can't go to sleep. And your body, all the caffeine that you take and just the adrenaline that you have of playing and performing, it goes a long way. Guys aren't spoiled. It's just there is a whole lot of taxing travel that goes into those type of moments, right?
No doubt. I think that's the right way to put it. It's a lot of hours. I mean, being an NFL player is a 70-hour-a-week job minimum. It is crazy. Like, y'all don't get really days off. I know Kirk Cousins in the QB documentary a couple years ago was like, Tuesdays I go for a walk with my wife.
That's about it.
I stay away from the, everything. Like, Tuesdays really kind of all you get.
It is. Because Saturday is still going to the facility or you're leaving. One of the two are going to happen during the week. You're either going to the airplane to travel or you still got to go in for a walkthrough and you get a lift and rehab and still a treatment and still. And that's why, like, when you hear guys say, I got to find balance, when they speak about, I got to find.
What's that?
You know, like, not to say that you seek out like a wife, but you have a lot of guys that have to find like either a girlfriend that they can trust and be stable with, or have like a woman, fiance, or somebody that truly understands how to balance your life.
Or like Cam Ward, a dog.
A dog, like, you need
I joke,
something.
but there is a lot of truth to that.
Like, there is that part of it too. That's why a lot of guys, when they get like in their positions to thank people, the wives always come up, because without them, there's no real balance to what you got going on. On top of, when you go home with your kids, they don't care about the game. You know, like, Keisha would have to tell the boys when they were super young, they lost, don't do it. And if one of them would be like, did y'all lose? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that part of it still. So it's more than just a game.
It's fair. Very fair. Yesterday at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park, the injury reports for Titans and Raiders, again, as we mentioned, is a long one, but it is also only Wednesday. Of course, now it's Thursday. So only the Wednesday report. Non-participants, including Blake Hance, shoulder, Marcus Harris, calf, Van Jefferson, ankle, which I did see him come off the field early in that game on Sunday in Phoenix. He went to the locker room before the rest of the team and was favoring his, I believe it was left ankle. I couldn't totally tell. You could just it was one of those situations where you could tell someone is limping a little bit, but it's not significant enough where they're like holding up one of their feet to where you can really tell which side it was. But I believe it was his left leg or ankle. He's listed with an ankle, so left ankle. And then when I asked about it on the sideline, I was told, no, he's good to go.
Okay.
So he played the whole second half, too, on special teams. And what didn't really hold him off, but something to monitor there. Arden Key, quad injury, did not practice. J.C. Latham, we'll talk about in just a moment. He was limited with a hip injury that's continued to be a nagging thing for him. Tyler Lockett was given the day off. James Lynch did not practice. Bryce Oliver was limited. Good to see him get back there. He was excited in the locker room from what people were saying and from what Paul Koharski reported about getting back. Tony Pollard was given the day off. Jeffrey Simmons, ankle. Did not practice. Again, if he's got even any kind of bump or bruise. In Arizona, it was grass.
It was grass. Okay.
It was grass.
It was on a platform, though.
Yeah, it looked really good in the first half, and it got pretty chewed up by the end of the football game. Nothing crazy. Like, it was still solid. Still probably better than a lot of turf surfaces around the league. But
that's one of the weirdest turfs I'd ever played on because, because they wheel it in. That's the reason I was wondering, was it still turf?
Right.
You can hear, like, have you ever been on a stage? It sounds like a stage underneath it. Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. And even just walking on the sideline, that literally is a stage.
It's a stage.
Walking around there, which is a little different. Most comfortable bench, though.
Was it? I saw the cushions.
In the league. It had like legitimate cushions even on the away side.
They know how to
Shout out Arizona.
Shout out Arizona.
Joey Sly, right calf, did not practice.
Right-footed?
Yes.
Oh, that's going to be fascinating.
If he's got a right calf injury and is not kicking at all on Wednesday, that is the one injury that I think is concerning for that player's availability on the injury report. He had a big old sleeve on that right calf in the locker room yesterday.
Are there any reports of like workouts, tryouts, anything? Because
Matthew Wright was signed to the practice squad yesterday.
Okay, all right.
Assigned number 14. He was 4 for 4 in 2 games for the Titans last year and has appeared in 29 games. He's 55 of 63
Play with
as a
Matthew
field goal
Wright.
kicker. Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Nice. Steelers legend.
So I'm on the sideline. He only made it through practice squad with us, though, if I'm not mistaken. But he was a super cool dude. We talked a little bit last year, man, and he's a solid guy. We'll see, but definitely going to need Joey Sloggett. He's got a booming leg, man.
L'Jarius Sneed given the day off. Tajay Spears, ankle limited. James Williams, wrist, full participant. And Kevin Winston Jr., I got the chance to talk to a little bit yesterday, was limited, expected as he gets back. Long list, but it's only Wednesday. So last night, Post Malone downtown was awesome. Very glad I went.
Saw your video.
I'm glad I have a fiance that is the one that encourages me to do fun things like this and use my free will to go enjoy life. Because a lot of the times I get stuck in these work weeks that are busy and just like, no, I'm good. I'll just sleep or work or eat or watch Netflix. And it was really good. He brought out Dierks Bentley to do What Was I Thinking? Do you know that one?
No.
Okay. Jackson, cue it up. Lainey Wilson to do Nosedive, which is from his country album, probably. I didn't see him because there were thousands of people down there, and I was seemingly a mile away from the stage, but it was still cool. And then Brooks and Dunn came out and did 2 songs at the very end, and they were terrific. They did, gosh dang it, can't remember it. It is, hold on, I'll find it. Well, he did, they did Neon Moon was the one he did with Post, which was really good.
I got that on my Pandora favorites, just so you know.
Very good. Brand New Man was the other one that they did.
Okay, I hadn't heard Brand New Man.
Brand New Man is like, I can't go on Broadway without hearing Brand New Man played by some band. And it's funny, we were going to try to find a rooftop to like see Post. That was not a good idea because people were probably there from 5 p.m. to do that. But we literally walked by a bar and I heard Brand New Man by Brooks and Dunn and I was like, I can't go on Broadway without hearing this song. And then Post Malone played it. He did not play a single original other than Nosedive. Yeah. He played covers of country songs that he likes. He did Amarillo Sky by Jason Aldean from back in the day. He did, again, all those with features. And then he finished with How Do You Like Me Now as a tribute to Toby Keith.
How do you like me now?
It was really good.
Apparently, Brooks and Dunn and Lainey Wilson were together this past summer at CMA Fest, too.
Nice.
They shared the stage. I'm looking at a video right now of them doing Play Something Country.
Good song.
Is Good
song.
Know that one.
Because they just did a recharged album, which is like a new thing now.
Yeah.
Where they had features on all of their songs that like sounded a little different. Mm-hmm. That they would do one verse and then someone else would do another verse.
Like the remixes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. That's fun, man. The weather was perfect.
It was great.
Hold up. The real question is, how packed was it last night?
Extremely packed.
So this was a Broadway like situation.
Just
right
look
here.
up. Well, you can go to my Twitter.
I saw your video. Yeah, I did.
Will_bowling on Twitter. You can see my picture from 9 hours ago, which makes me feel kind of tired, but that's okay. Of the amount of phones up in the air. The only way I could see him was by putting my phone up. Because I couldn't see him over the heads of people, so I just kept taking videos and pictures. That way I could look on my phone and see Post Malone. It was really good.
Dope.
Really, really good. 615-737-1045. The Titans got some good news yesterday. We'll tell you what it is next.
It's Ramon and Will here for Window Nation, man. October is here, and so is the return of chilly air seeping into your home. And that is if you have old, stuck, or cracked windows. Y'all know those are problematic to you and can be problematic throughout the rest of the year. Eliminate annoying drafts once and for all with the top quality replacement windows from Window Nation. Window Nation has some of the best replacement windows out there. Here's the cool thing. The installation crews, they finish a job in 1 day or less, so you can get back to your daily routines, Will. And they also want to make it affordable to a lot of people, too.
They do, Ramon, and they've got a great deal this month because when you buy 2 windows, you'll get 2 for free. Yeah, and there's no limit to how many windows you replace, and your total price includes 1-day installation. So make no payments for 2 years, no monthly payments, no down payment, and no interest until 2027. That is a big deal with the holidays coming up. Put it into your window problems before this beautiful fall weather ends with our good friends at Window Nation. 866-90-NATION, or you can head online and schedule an appointment now and a fast free estimate at windownation.com. Again, you can schedule a fast free estimate online at windownation.com. Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone on this Thursday morning and Friday, Junior. This was the song Post Malone played with Dierks Bentley last night.
He played it. Did he?
What was I thinking?
Yeah, I hadn't heard those.
My people that know me got to be so tired of me because I'll just like sing the guitar part.
Not the lyrics.
I'll the lyrics too. I'm equal opportunity.
Yeah.
I just care enough about, the other musicians. No, it's just the way my stupid brain works.
I love how you bring it back. No, it's just the way my stupid brain works.
I love that song.
Yeah.
If it is a country song between like 2008 and 2012, it's even the songs I don't like. I know the words.
You get it.
And then I'll hear it out in the wild and be like, oh, I love this song. And then I'll like actually hear it on the radio and be like, I don't really love this song. I don't know what it is. Anyway, that was when my dad was driving me to school before I could drive.
Papa Bowling.
Because I got my car when I turned 16 and I shouldn't date myself like this. That's okay. I turned 16 in 2013. So once I could drive myself to school, then I started to be able to like, oh, all right, I'll switch up my music taste a little bit. But listening to country radio for that much of my life,
yeah.
If it's between, 2008 and 2012,
What's your
I know
birthday
it.
month again?
July.
I just bought my first house in 2013.
Sorry
I
to make
bought
you feel
it
old
going
this
into
morning.
the camp, man. You want to talk about purchasing? You took 2013. That was a wild year. I bought a house while in training camp and had to sign the paperwork and go to football practice. You want to talk about crazy, Will. You want to talk about trust. You want to talk about, I send this check right here. I wire this. It's going to go there. And here you are getting a vehicle. Hey, look at us. Same place.
An old Jeep that would, you'd smell smoke when you drove up hills.
Did
and I
you?
loved it. That's what every kid should have as their first car.
It's a smoky car.
Everyone should have a car that is safe, but makes you feel just a little unsafe the first time you have a vehicle.
Yeah, I've been through that replacing oil and the motor type stuff. Oh, no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
Or whenever you pull up to somebody's house and they ask you, does that car leak? It's like, what?
That's right.
What?
That's
yeah, it
absolutely
does.
right.
Well, you can't park in my
character building.
driveway.
Yeah, that's right.
You can't park in my driveway. Absolutely missed that.
P96 on YouTube says, OMG, okay, now I feel like, has anyone seen my walker? I'm so sorry. It says more about me than it does you guys. It says more that I was born yesterday, more so than you guys were born late at all.
Have you seen my walker? That's cold right there, Will.
Jeff Ferris, Austin P head coach, going to join us here in 5 minutes. Big ranked win for the Govs over the weekend. Another big one coming up for them that we will talk about here coming up at 6:30. I think J.C. Latham's going to play football on Sunday. J.C. Latham was confident in the locker room. It appears, just kind of reading between the lines, Ramon, that this was kind of the plan.
Okay.
The way things have progressed with his injury. He wouldn't go into a lot of details when we spoke with him in the locker room yesterday, but limited on the practice report. Better. I was looking at this actually yesterday. It's interesting. Nick Whalen put this out there. This was offensive allowed pressure responsibility, and just bear with me because I know that sounds way too complex for 6:30 in the morning or even for like 9:30 in the morning. But this takes left tackle through right tackle and quarterback and gives the percentage of when pressure is allowed, whose fault is it, of those 6 players. Now, I think, Ramon, to be honest with you, they should add running back to this because there are pass protection issues from backs that are also relevant. But just for the sake of conversation, among quarterback, Ramon, and 5 members of the offensive line, 36% of the pressure Cam Ward has faced this season has been responsible to the right tackle.
Yeah, that's about right.
The rest of it, 21% on Dan Moore at left tackle. 10% of the pressure allowed has been from Peter Skronsky. Excellent number. 13% from center. 9% at right guard, which is not only a tip of the cap to Kevin Zeitler, but also Blake Hance, who filled in for him for 1 week. And then 13% of the pressure, which I thought was a lower number than I expected, was attributed to Cam Ward. So what that means is, Ramon, that an offensive line that's already playing better could start playing pretty dang well if they are able to get J.C. Latham back healthy and feeling and playing like himself.
I wonder if the tackle situations are just so high anyway because of that's where your rushers are just in general. You know what I'm saying? As far as the premier rushers being edge rushers. I wonder what that correlates like to a team like Philly or a team like Pittsburgh or Cleveland, whoever else, are the tackles percentages much higher just because of that's where the rushers are. But to your point, that's been one of those snake-bitten positions, I feel like, for the last 2-3 years is right tackle. And then you have JC get injured. I'm wondering if he does go, is Coach just going to unleash him? And also, what is his setback looking like, too, as far as that growing? Like I said, I ever had a growing issue like that. I've heard people say, like, it's a sharp pinch pain that you feel when you have those type of issues like that on the interior part of your leg. And that's, for him, that's a good bit of his movement. That's a good bit of his work, him straining and being able to hold his point like that in those modes, too. For a fellow like him to have that type of issue and have to sit down and had to have been serious.
Yeah, because he had that re-aggravated in Denver pretty quickly into that game.
Yeah.
And I know I've spoken about it on air, and I said it on Titans radio. Like, he kept trying to go out there, and I think he kind of pushed himself a little bit further than he should have with that injury, and they waited to kind of hook him in that game when the pain was just too much. And I don't think we saw anything close to what a healthy J.C. Latham looks like in Denver. We've not seen it yet this year. Heck, we've not seen it since, a good ways at a training camp.
Yeah. And here's the other part, too, for him. He's always, I'm sure, been a grinder all his life, from IMG to Alabama to even last year as a rookie. Like, he wore down last year and didn't know what to do with himself. Like, that's the conversation JC had with himself about after that Houston game. He just kind of took a nosedive a little bit. What he learned now, I hope, for himself as a young pro is this. You got to know when to say no. We get mad. I know even as teammates sometimes you get mad at your teammates for not going some days.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're not right, you're going to hurt us. And clearly JC was in a position where if you had Oli Udoh or John Njoku prepare as if they were going to go, if he was honest with the staff and more than anything honest with himself, then maybe those first couple of games don't look as bad as they were because he clearly wasn't ready to play himself.
Well, and clearly Oli Udoh, right, is more prepared and is more comfortable being on the right side when he's got a week to prepare as the starting right tackle.
No doubt.
And he has been serviceable. He's not been perfect.
Oh.
Backup linemen are never perfect, but as you know, but he has been certainly serviceable for them on the right side. So
I do wonder when J.C. Latham gets back, will they stop chipping as much because of the security and putting more weapons out in the offense?
Yeah, I think a lot of that comes down to how close to 100% is his performance level and health level.
Mm-hmm.
Joining us now is Austin Peay head coach Jeff Ferris. The Govs just keep on rolling. A big win over ranked West Georgia over the weekend, 44-30, and a big matchup on the road against Eastern Kentucky this weekend. Coach, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Will. Ramon. Fired up to be here, guys. I appreciate you.
Well, you guys are making history this season, Coach. As you know, a win over an FBS opponent earlier in the season, a ranked win last week over 16th ranked West Georgia. I believe, Coach, if I'm not mistaken, that's the first time you guys have done that as a program where both those things have happened in the same season. Just what worked on Saturday and what's working for your team right now?
Well, I appreciate the kind words, and the players deserve all the credit, but we're just getting started. And, I think Saturday was a great example of who we are. Since we've come together, our guys have worked their tails off. We talked about it, when I was in the studio before the season started, and it wasn't always clean. We jump out second tie ball game at half. We jump out scoring 2 plays, and then there's a 14-point swing, and we're down 7, and our guys never flinched. And, I don't know if there's a better example of our culture than us down 7, forced a punt, and a non-scholarship player, DJ Carter, makes the tackle, causes a fumble, Davion Blackwell recovers, and then the rest is history. We score 21 unanswered, win by 14, and bring a huge win home at Forterra Stadium.
Coach, it's been really fun to watch your quarterback, Chris Parson, who I've watched for so many years at Ravenwood, and I love the story. Yeah, that's right.
Love you, Coach Chester.
I love the story from Kobe Wilson at letsgop.com, talking about how in high school, Chris Parson was ranked 1 spot ahead of Lenoris Sellers in the 247 sports recruiting rankings. Just what kind of work has he put in to meet that potential that he always had as a really good quarterback at Ravenwood, and what's working for him in your offense right now?
Well, let me tell you what happened yesterday. So I don't sleep very much. I'm an early morning guy, and I'm doing some work, and I go semi-old man workout, and then I'm on the track. And it's near 5 o'clock in the morning. It's still dark out. And I see 4 bodies walk onto the field, and they start walking through the script, and it's Chris Parson, it's Shamar Kirk, who's from McGavick, it's Jaden Robinson, and it is Nate Garnett. And this is, we don't have a team meeting for another hour and a half, 2 hours, but it's that important to Chris, and it just kind of shows you his leadership. And, I've never been around another one, that has it from the neck up like that. You probably heard that, Ramon, from Coach Cut. But just his maturity, and guys, let's not forget, he is a young football player. He started 1 game at Mississippi State.
Wow.
And, the way that he's grown every single week, not only as a quarterback, but as a leader, man, he's been a lot of fun to coach.
Man, Coach Ferris with us this morning talking Austin Peay football. Coach, you guys are also, and you said it's the best football entertainment west of Knoxville, and you absolutely mean it. You're undefeated at home. What has that environment been like for you guys, even pulling off a ranked win this past week against West Georgia in Clarksville?
Forterra Stadium has been unbelievable, Ramon. I mean, you've been here, you've seen it.
Yeah.
But the community comes out, supports, starts with the Gov Walk, the tailgate alley. I mean, it was packed on Saturday. It was a huge reason we were able to beat the number 16 team at home, and as decisive as it was. I mean, on third down, guys the whole environment is stomping. It really, really helps our defense. And after the game, fans rush the field. I'm trying to chase my kids around. It's a unique environment. And then by the time we finish with talking to the team, media, all that kind of stuff, the entire town of Clarksville is still celebrating on the 3rd and 4th floor. This is it's an unbelievable community, Austin Peay football. I'm so blessed to be a part of it.
You brought up a second ago, Chris Parson, man. He absolutely dueled this game. 346 yards, 3 touchdowns, only sacked twice. Shout out to the big boys up front. What has it been like watching him grow also, Coach? Like, this is his 3rd year in college as a redshirt sophomore, so this is kind of the year you have a guy like him take his step. What has that process been like for you to guide him through this, success that he's had? 4-2 is nothing to just turn your nose up at.
Yeah, and this is great because of our linked history. The offense we run is not easy.
No.
And for him to be executing at the level he is, we run Meyer here. I know you're familiar with those things. They're a different type of Florida protection. But the way that he's able to grow every week and operate in this system, man, it takes a lot of guys more than a year to do that. And he got here in January, which I think, again, speaks volumes of the kid that he is, the young man that he is, his intelligence level, how he was raised. Golly, got to spend some time with his family before the game. Apple trees grow apples. And the job that they've done, they've got to be so tremendously proud of their entire family, all the children. And he's a great reflection of what we are here in Clarksville, Tennessee. Unbelievable person, incredibly tough and selfless. And, man, I know he's going to keep it going.
Coach Jeff Ferris, Austin Peay head coach, joining us this morning. Coach, I'm really curious about the process, and we've talked about this before, of finding the right types of players and fits in the transfer portal. And it feels to me like across college football,
everything.
Yeah, right. At the FCS level and the FBS level, it feels like more and more programs are getting that evaluation right. There are less teams kind of bottoming out, right, that have been portal reliant. For you guys, and specifically how you guys have used it, where do you feel like you all have been proven right as a staff about the kinds of players you brought in? And how is that portal evaluation process, in your opinion, changing for programs as they learn more do's and don'ts about the kinds of players that you want to get in the portal?
100%. Well, this is relatively new. This is a completely different era of college football, and we're all kind of figuring this out on the run. What I would tell you is the biggest difference, one of the many differences between the team that we inherited and the one now. I think this offseason we made a conscious effort, and our assistant coaching staff deserves all the credit, but we were not going to miss on football character. The kids that we brought in, I don't care if they're an inch too short. I don't care if they're not the fastest. They're going to love football because it's hard to be an Austin Peay football player. We grind on these guys, and it means something to them to be a part of this team, this community. It's a privilege and an honor to be an Austin Peay Gov. I think we passed that test. We recruited great kids. And when that happens, all you do is you just continue to build and add to a culture, which I think is why we're playing, at times really, really well. I think that the model is going to change, and you got to kind of recalibrate every offseason. I think anytime you are portal reliant, it's a dangerous thing. One thing that we've done a good job of here is we've signed big high school classes. I think that it's got to be a blend, which I think is why a lot of times the first year a lot of teams will struggle because they have to go almost exclusively portal because a lot of 18-year-olds can't help you win year one.
Right.
But we never lost sight of that. We knew that the goal was to build sustained success for the long term. I'm really thankful to Dr. Licari, Jordan Harmon, for sharing that vision and allowing us to pursue that vision. And it's an interesting dynamic, and we recalibrate every day. And it's really, really helped us here.
Coach, tell me about Eastern Kentucky. What are you guys going to do to win this weekend?
Oh, it's going to be a tough game. It has been, by Saturday, it'll be 707 days since EKU has lost a home game. They've won 9 straight, didn't lose one a year ago. But 3 of the last 5 meetings have gone to overtime. They're very, very big up front. I think whoever can win in the trenches and take care of the football will win. I'm excited. This is a rivalry game. In the first 57 years of this series, Austin Peay went 1-24 up in Richmond. Wow. So we got to change that. It's going to be a lot of hard work. We got to stick together as we always do. But I'm fired up.
Coach, when you have a rivalry like this, the last 2 times you guys have played each other have gone to overtimes. Is this a coach's matchup? Is this a scheme? Is it players versus players, or is a lot of anxiety that goes into it? 2 times in a row, overtime says a lot about what this game is to you guys and also to EKU.
Ramon, you know me well now. This is all about the players. And whoever plays the hardest is going to find a way to win.
Okay.
Which is why I'm so excited because the group that we're bringing up there to Richmond. In games like this, high emotions, we got to play with emotion, not let emotion play with us. And that's been something we've been talking to our team, all week about. Not that much different than the big game against West Georgia. A lot of people are talking about it. We've had great conversations about ignoring noise. We talk about putting the earmuffs on, and kind of just focusing on our process and the task at hand.
He is Coach Ferris, Govs and Colonels, 5 o'clock in Richmond, Kentucky, ESPN Plus, where you can watch it. Austin Peay rolling this season. Always appreciate catching up with Coach Ferris. Coach, appreciate the time and best of luck this weekend.
We love you guys. Thank you so much.
Coach, it sounds like you need some tea, man. You're about to lose your...
yelling a few times this week, Ramon.
I love it. Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it, Coach.
See you guys.
All right, Jeff Ferris with us here this morning. I love talking with him, not just to learn more about that program and shine a light on some really good football in Clarksville. His process, he is so detail-oriented in the way he is going about building Austin Peay football. And I think if you're a fan of an FBS program in this town or an FCS program or anything in between, that's a really interesting roster-building comment from him about being portal-reliant versus, supplementing your roster in the transfer portal. Because, Ramon, it does feel like there are less teams like Florida State last year who were 2-10 and just bottoming out because they did too much in the portal. Teams are getting better at scouting the transfer portal.
They are, man, unless you're North Carolina.
Well, let's talk about that, shall we? There is a dumpster fire going on at UNC. We have got to band together and find the footage that Hulu has been taking of North Carolina football this year. We'll talk about the latest from Ollie Connolly and buyouts that are being discussed for Chapel Bill coming up next.
It's Ramon Foster for Bronze Motorsports, man, where they believe if you dream, they'll design and build it for you. They're located at 789 West Main Street in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Here's the cool thing about it. Bronze Motorsports, that's exactly where you can find them on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, everywhere, man. It's just what they do. But simply put, if you're ready to elevate your vehicle, Bronze Motorsports, they specialize in transforming rides with statement-making custom wheels, immersive audio experiences, and head-turning designs through custom tints and wraps. Whether you're seeking something subtle or a complete custom build, they can do it for you. They deliver cutting-edge styles and performance for all vehicles, including the most exclusive and exotic. If you're a Jeep or Bronco owner that want the ultimate off-road package, they can do that for you, too. Bronze Motorsports is the undisputed leader when it comes to customization. Bronze Motorsports can give your vehicle an aggressive off-road appearance and performance that has made Bronze Motorsports the undisputed leader of off-road upgrades. I'll just tell you guys this. I don't care if you're getting a wheel package, lift gates, lights, don't matter. They just do good work, man. Go see my guys, Bronze Motorsports in Hendersonville, Tennessee.
Hey, it's Will Bowling talking to you about my new obsession. And it's not even new at this point. It's been my obsession for all of college football season, for the pro football season. Daisy French onion dip. It's my guilty pleasure during football season, eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies while watching the big game. Well, Daisy has come out with this delicious French onion dip and ranch dip. They're a total game changer. As delicious as a homemade dip, plus they're made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. You need some in your life for the watch party, for the tailgate this upcoming weekend. Head to a grocery store near you and check it out. Daisy French onion dip and Daisy ranch dip. You can find it at a grocery store near you. Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone, wrapping up the opening hour on this Friday Junior.
Oh,
It's Friday Junior. We're acting like it.
Friday Junior for real, man.
Ramon Foster and Will Balding with you. Coming up in 15 minutes, Cam Ward and Brian Callahan talking tempo. And Cam's comfort in it yesterday, speaking with the media. Some interesting things there that we'll get to. North Carolina is really bad at football. Let's start there. Ollie Connolly putting this out yesterday. Ollie, certainly a reputable source, talking about college football, talking about North Carolina football. He is a writer for the Read Optional and for the Guardian US. He has been around college football for quite some time. Says the following. This is great. Per sources, Bill Belichick has discussed buyout options with North Carolina's hierarchy. Belichick has signaled a willingness to trigger his own $1 million buyout if he can find a soft landing with another team or in media. Members of Belichick's coaching staff have already spoken to other schools that are expected to be in college football playoff about taking on roles during the postseason. From one coach, quote, "The rats are leaving the ship." Some staffers believe a change will come within 2 weeks. Reports of serious recruiting violations remain under investigation at UNC. Recruiting and practice violations have already been proven by the school, according to multiple sources. Using recruiting violations to knock down a coach's buyout has become a standard practice, Ollie Connolly says. Jeremy Pruitt. If Belichick cannot find a landing spot to trigger his own buyout, he's expected to accept a greatly reduced compromise rate. Belichick's communication with his staff in the last 2 weeks has been described as weird and distant by multiple members of his coaching staff. Multiple coaches were unable to get a hold of him during UNC's bye week.
Damn right. Jordan had his phone.
Here you go again with "I love this for him."
You know what
I love this for her.
I love this for Bill. I do because, again, I don't like to see anybody fail, but like everybody that got behind this, and we spoke about the differences between like college and the NFL, like there's a difference in how you got to go about coaching, recruiting, and evaluating talent. Like in the NFL, you get ready-made guys for the most part, and you just got to, you know what I'm saying, maybe put some rims on them or, just put a wrap on them. And in college, like you got to change the body. You got to do a lot of those types of things. I don't think Bill understood that, or his staff, or the way they was trying to run this thing. We heard Coach Ferris speak about what the transfer portal is. Like, you don't want that to be your calling card the entire time. And how he went in and just wanted to just coach is not just wanting to coach.
It's a lot more than just film that talks when you're high school recruiting and portal recruiting.
You can try to beat cover two through a kid's head, and they might not pick it up still. And he may be the best athlete on your team, and you got to find out ways to hide and mask that until they grow up a little bit. And
100%.
It seems to be it's a lot of everything.
They did not recruit well in the portal at all. And I think Bill Belichick is going to get a lot of the blame because he's an easy target.
Yeah.
And he's put a lot of that on himself. Don't get me wrong. I'm not blaming anyone for going after Bill. Michael Lombardi shares a lot of this blame as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Michael Lombardi is the general manager of North Carolina football, who has been an NFL executive as well. Heck, we've had him on this show time and time again. He's on Pat McAfee regularly, even still with his UNC job. There is a big difference between a draft prospect, even from an FCS school, who has been in a college weight room, who has had to go through tough coaching, who has had to earn their way into a professional football setting and has the mentality of someone who can work, come in, do a job, and be a pro. Mm-hmm. There's a big difference between that and an 18-year-old kid from Cumming, Georgia, from Lynchburg, Tennessee, from Coffee County, from Metairie, Louisiana, who doesn't go to a college weight room. He might be in the weight room a couple times a week. He's eating Cheerios and Wheaties and McDonald's.
Might not go to class.
And is the most talented athlete on the field, playing against a division where he can dominate. And doesn't know scheme, doesn't know coaching, isn't taking hard coaching. And I'm not saying that's everyone in college football. Don't get me wrong. There are plenty of excellent high school football programs that will create a college-level program and weight room and all of these things to allow you to recruit from. Here's the thing. Bill and that staff don't have relationships with high school coaches yet for those coaches to also be honest about a lot of their players. And then the transfer portal, they just got a lot of that stuff wrong. I mean, they are the worst passing offense in the ACC by a wide margin. They are averaging 162 passing yards per game. 162. No one else in the ACC is below 200. And Stanford plays in the ACC. They're terrible. There are some bad teams in the ACC, and UNC might be the worst. I mean, it is jarring how bad they are. So all of that being said, Bill, if he had the time, could learn from these mistakes.
It's that part.
Bill doesn't have the time to learn from his mistakes. Bill is Bill at this point. And Bubba Cunningham, that athletic director, I don't think wanted any part of this. I think there were power brokers and money people who led this. And then when Bubba Cunningham comes out yesterday and says, Bill has the full backing of the athletic department. I don't think Bill's ever had Bubba Cunningham's full backing.
No. The issue that Bill Belichick has in this is, to your point, the time. Bill Belichick may still be a good coach. The further he gets away from New England and Tom Brady, the more it seems like it was more Tom than it was Bill. I know that much. Tom also.
The perception is that way. I don't think that's totally fair.
But he also had years without Tom Brady, and it didn't net much in New England in the same setting, too. Tom went on to win another championship. My point of it all is this, though, too. Bill may be a really good coach, could potentially be a really good college coach, but he don't have the time. And the issue with him not having the time, too, is Bill also has, from what's being reported, a lot of outside stuff that's taken away from coaching. That's the issue. I don't want to necessarily blame the girlfriend or just put it all on her too, but it seems to be a lot of strings being pulled of him and the decisions that he's making and what she's allowed to do, and becoming a huge distraction for the entire football program. The Netflix thing, the documentaries, the interviews, the, hey, Bill can't do this, the photo shoots that he's allowed to do and not do. Like, he became, at a certain point, it seems like her puppet.
I don't even think it's that. I just think that.
But I know that adds a lot to it. That's the main conversation.
They've not. I don't know. I think
when they say weird, I'm not getting football.
Just because it's the conversation doesn't mean it's the main reason why they stink.
But the issue that I feel like he's having is the weirdness and the craziness that we're hearing around it ain't just the football. Like, the recruiting. How you get blamed for recruiting violations in this era?
Well, the reason you get blamed for it is you're so bad that the school tries to save a little bit of money.
I mean, well,
that's how you get blamed for it.
That part too. Recruiting. But all throughout this summer and August and September, we've heard about how intrusive she's been too. To your point about the AD not actually wanting him, it seems like he knew the baggage that would come with this much of a headliner that he and she are.
My red flag with Bill and the way he staffed his program was always the fact that it's a lot of NFL people trying to make NFL decisions for a college football program. And I feel bad for the players that were sold an NFL development pathway in the portal and are now one of the worst Power 4 teams in the country.
He flipped the tackle, a 4-star.
He flipped Carson Snead from down the road from Tennessee.
And Shabazz kid,
committed
if I'm not
there.
mistaken.
JB Shabazz, offensive lineman.
Offensive lineman.
Yeah, it is a mess. It is a total mess, and I would be surprised if he's the head coach at North Carolina in 2026.
Does the tight end come back now?
At this point, I don't know.
Well, I mean, open recruiting for him now at this point.
Justin on Facebook Live says, Bill should have sailed off into the sunset as soon as Logan Ryan intercepted that ball in New England. Yeah, but honestly. Says he could be sitting next to Saban talking about football and nobody would care who he's dating. LOL. That's a good point.
That's very true.
It's a very good point. Coming up, Cam Ward and Brian Callahan talk about tempo. Why haven't the Titans gone to more up-tempo? We know about all the positives, putting the defense in conflict and ability to sub, all these things. I want to ask Ramon, what are the downsides? What's the negative to going full-on tempo in an NFL offense? That's next.
It's Ramon Foster for Princess Hot Chicken. Y'all know who they are, the original hot chicken. If you've had hot chicken in your life, thank Princess, okay? I just want to throw that out there, man. But if you hadn't been in a while, they got numerous locations around the city. They have it in the airport if you're flying in and you hadn't been here in a while. The Tanger Outlets, Assembly Food Hall, or you can go down Nolensville Pike, who has a nice bar over there too, by the way. But here's the thing about Princess Hot Chicken. They got different variations of flavors for you. You can get plain, light, mild, all the way up to 3X. And the sides are always immaculate, man. Mac and cheese, potato salad, baked beans, seasoned fries, greens, and coleslaw. And to top it off, get you some strawberry cake or pecan pie after you're done, man. But here's the thing about them. They are not just chicken. They will cater your high-end event or tailgate from 15 people up to 1,000. No party size is too large for Princess Hot Chicken, man. And they may be called Princess Hot Chicken, but they also have vegan and vegetarian options like portobello wraps, chickpea salad sandwiches, and a whole lot more. They're just the best at doing it when it comes to hot chicken. If you hadn't had them in a while, man, hit up one of their numerous locations around the city, even in the airport. And if you headed to Knoxville for a game, they also have one there too at Yeehaw Brewery at 745 North Broadway in Knoxville. Princess Hot Chicken. Make sure you tell them that Ramon sent you.
What's up? It's footballing. My new obsession this football season is Daisy French onion dip. I love it with hot chicken, with wings, with chips, with veggies while watching the big game. And my buddies know at this point, if I'm showing up to the tailgate and I'm not coming empty-handed, I'm just going to bring Daisy French onion dip. They know it by this point. I can't hide it in the Tupperware. And they know that Daisy made it. I didn't make it. But it does taste homemade. Real herbs and spices, other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. You got to try this stuff. Daisy French onion dip and Daisy ranch dip is available now at a grocery store near you.
7:03, good morning from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Jackson Williams. The Titans back on the practice field yesterday as Tony Pollard, L'Jarius Sneed, and Tyler Lockett all held out of practice for rest, along with Blake Hance, Marcus Harris, Van Jefferson, Arden Key, James Lynch, Jeffrey Simmons, and Joey Sly all nursing injuries and out of practice. J.C. Latham returned to practice on a limited basis after missing the last 4 games with a hip injury. In other NFL news, the Jags and Browns agreed to a trade last night as the Jags send cornerback Tyson Campbell and a 7th-rounder to Cleveland for quarterback Greg Newsome and a 6th-rounder. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Seven a.m. in beautiful Music City on this crisp Thursday morning at Friday Junior. This is Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee. 615-737-1045. Scooters Coffee in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Ramon Foster and Will Bowling, Coach Mack in 15 minutes. Ramon, I was doing some digging yesterday.
Uh-oh. Did you get dirty or what?
I did not.
Okay.
But I did learn something. 104.5 The Zone TV is where you can watch the show. Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. On the Zone YouTube channel, we are asking, pleading, begging, one might even say, for 20,000 subscribers. I looked and found the percentage of our viewers who are not subscribed to the channel.
Oh, you did a little detail.
I did a little bit of digging, like I said.
Yeah.
No dirt, just analytics. What percentage of our audience do you think is not subscribed to the 104.5 The Zone YouTube channel? And I mean the audience that's watching us on YouTube.
Oh, I'm going to go 52%.
Oh, you're close. A little bit less.
Okay.
Our audience gets a little bit more credit for that. 40% of you are not subscribed who watch.
Okay.
So if you are not watching right now, head on over. 104.5 The Zone TV is on the 104.5 The Zone YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button for us. It does not sign you up for anything. You're not going to get emails from us. You're not going to get messages. It just helps us. And if you like us, then you want to help us. So that'd be a good thing for you to do.
Y'all just living foul out here is what you're doing.
That's right.
Y'all here just stealing free views and not even contributing, just a like. We're not even asking you to hit the reminder bell right now. Just hit the like button.
Just hit subscribe.
And subscribe is all we ask.
Just hit subscribe. That's all we need. So Cam Ward yesterday talked about tempo, something Ramon has been adamant can help the Tennessee Titans offense. This was Cam when asked about tempo helping him and his comfort level in an offense that worked in the fourth quarter in Arizona on Sunday.
It doesn't simplify it for me. It's just something that I've done my whole career at every stop. I lived by tempo. It's something that has got me to where I am. So it's just another way I know how to play football. So I think it just helps us as an offense.
And with that tempo, it creates a sense of urgency. Is that something that you experience as opposed to the same calm player that you always are?
It does, especially from a defense standpoint. Them not really knowing, what we're in. Us trying to see if we can get the perfect play in a look if we can. Then it's just also something that I think we're real good at. Something that, we're going to get into more, as the season goes. But we also got to be productive out of it as well.
You said you'd live in it if you could, but that's not real football. How much more of it do you think there could be for it still to be real football?
Just after, whether it's a big play, or if in my mind, I would want to do it after a negative play. Flush it, get on the ball, let's go fast, see if we can steal one from the defense. But it's all about situational as well. If we're backed up, if we're past the 50 or not. So a lot goes into it.
Usually when you watch the writers on film, and I guess Cross,
so that's Cam Ward talking about he lives in tempo. Ramon, we talk so much about tempo as it's this just foolproof thing, right? It's good for Cam. It's more of a college-centric offense. It might even be something they need more of. But I'm curious what the negatives are. What are the drawbacks? Why haven't the Titans gone more to a high-tempo offense?
Why haven't they? Because I do think Cam still has to get the baseline of what he actually need and the scenarios that they want to be in also. He mentioned the negative plays, and I wrote that one down. Just like, okay, you want to get to the ball quickly after a negative play? Well, negative plays change the mindset of the play callers, and the defense. There's a lot of change that happens when you get to the ball quickly. Like, I get it. You're in, let's go 2nd and 14. There's not a long list unless you're going to run a draw, a quick out. Like, you don't run tempo in those situations just to put the ball in somebody's hand to see if you can overcome the negative play. No, there's thought into setting up the third down too. Like, I get what Cam is saying, but there is a difference in like doing this in high school and college versus the NFL. Teams have, again, the hash marks. You don't have much of a field to work one side versus the other. My negative parts on getting this, though, too, for Cam is, yeah, you can get to the line of scrimmage, but you can still get tricked. Like, if you're going tempo, guys will get, they'll fake you out defensively, scheme you up in situation where the plays that you're running and up-tempo plays, the box is usually pretty small. So you got to be able to count on your guys to win and win quickly most times, because the offset of trying to go quick is defenses will also try to speed you up as far as getting the processing of your play out. They're not just going to let you tempo them and also hold on to the football too. Another part is going tempo, incompletions. Let's say Cam wants to go tempo after a negative play, 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14 is usually a passing play, and you want to get the ball out quick in those moments too. So that's another incompletion. Now you're faced with 3rd and 14. Just to go fast is not okay. Also, your guys, if you are sending them down the field, wide receivers, they're going to get tired, so the subbing is going to happen one way or the other too. So you got to manage that. What kind of routes are you asking them to do? Again, if you're going tempo, are we going tempo to go down the field, take a shot, or are we just getting the ball out of our hands? Because if you're going fast to get the ball out of your hands, you find yourself more susceptible to people batting the football, playing you to where they can't sack you, so you got to have to stay in the pocket. And again, you send your guys all the way down the field. You got a lot of different scenarios too. And as I said again before, it makes teams want to pressure you more, because if you're going to try to control us, well, I got to send somebody after you in these moments right here. And hopefully, because you're going fast, you won't see where you actually have to go if we're blitzing you or sending some pressure your way.
Question on Facebook Live says, did the weak prevent defense have something to do with assisting that tempo? No other team has given him that look that defense gets you killed. I don't think it was prevent the whole time.
I don't think it was prevent.
Because Calvin Ridley's catch is in,
look,
he just beat his corner and it was perfectly placed, right? I mean, prevent is putting everybody back at the goal line.
Yeah,
nobody's running prevent on the Titans.
No, nobody's running prevent. Like, you play off coverage more than anything, keep everything in front of you, because, again, they're learning Cam in real time also as a defense. You know that he likes to go downfield, so I wouldn't play press up on his guys. I play soft coverage with a safety or two around him. Think about the interception that happened, interception, fumble, touchdown. Like, there was a guy right there on, was it Calvin? And then there was a safety right there to pick the football off. Like,
it was deflected.
It was deflected to a defender.
Right.
So they're playing that zone coverage on this team right now until they figure out what they are. I get what Cam's saying. I think there is a benefit for it. I honestly think if you're going to do tempo, you do it after a first down. Get them to the line of scrimmage quickly. All right, we got them where we wanted to. And coaches at that point need to have a list of plays. Like I said, we would just go code word, Cadillac, Rolex, tank. And then that point, we just go.
Sure.
And it's, again, the thing that Cam's missing and wanting to go tempo, in my personal opinion, is he doesn't yet have a lot of time in this offense. For teams that run it fluidly and as flawless as you like to see from time to time, those quarterbacks have been in that system or been in the league long enough to where, like I said, 76 to us was 76, and Cadillac was a route in itself. You might have had a 576. A 5 route, 7 route, and a 6 route out of that one word. I don't know if this offense has that down with him just yet, for him wanting to do this. And again, is Cam asking to go tempo because he likes to freestyle, or is he doing tempo because plays are being called in tempo?
Brian Callahan was asked about it as well. This was the head coach's thoughts on more tempo. Jackson, if we have that. Where's Jackson?
I think we're one of the top handful of teams, maybe top 8, 9 teams in the league in terms of just on the ball tempo reps. Some of that's game situation. But it is something that we've done and we've continued to grow. It's stuff that we're always having in our package and we always have the ability to do. And, the more guys get used to doing it, the better we get at it, the more opportunities we'll have to continue using it. And it's been productive for us. I mean, we've had some pretty solid 2-minute drives over the course of the season. Cam does operate with some comfort in that. And I love no huddle football. I think it's great. I mean, I spent a lot of years doing it, some previous employment. So it's something that we're interested in and that I think we have some ability to do well. And we've done quite a bit of it to start, and it's a pack we can keep exploring those packages, keep finding ways to use it.
From your perspective and observations, like what is it about Cam that allows him to excel in those situations?
I think it's hard to probably pin all that down to one or two things, but there is some core concept things that go into it, things that we got a lot of reps on that we know well. There's something about tempo that does help kickstart the rhythm. There's something about that. It's always been the case, I think. If there's teams are looking for some rhythm on offense or a spark, they try to jump the ball, and that can help. But I think there's a lot of things that make it just something maybe he's done quite a bit of in his college career over his stops. So those are all things that probably factor into it.
I think tempo can be a comfort mechanism for Cam Ward to make this jump to the NFL not feel as big. I think the negative is how it impacts your defense. It's what we talk about with Josh Heupel and Tennessee offenses. If this defense is constantly bending in the first half and breaking in the second half, well, going up tempo and shortening your drives and stressing them even more might make them break earlier. That's the balance Brian Callahan has got to find. What is the element of tempo that makes my quarterback comfortable enough to get the best out of him while also getting the best out of my defense? Because if we go tempo for 3 plays and we're 3 and out and we only take 45 seconds of game clock, our defense is in trouble if we're living in that world consistently. So there has to be an element of complementary football that is still being played while also understanding what makes Cam Ward as successful as he possibly can be.
That's what I was going to say. I honestly don't like this with Callie.
Well, I don't think he's not running the Chip Kelly Oregon offense.
I know, but
all he's done tempo with so far is 2-minute drives. I think the question is, do you take what's worked in 2-minute drives and extrapolate that out to a larger game plan because it's working?
I would just say there's still more development in Cam before unleashing him.
I think he knows that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm
Callahan
hoping for.
knows that.
I'm hoping he don't take the Will Levis approach to where you just allow him to go downfield. That's all I want is for him to coach and develop.
Yeah, I think, though, if Jaden Daniels is the example of what works for rookie quarterbacks to make them feel comfortable, like they ran a ton of tempo last year in Washington to make Jaden Daniels feel comfortable in an offense he's familiar with.
There's also a lot of improv with his legs that Cam don't use.
I would like for Cam to use more improv with his legs. We talked about that last week. Like, roll him out and get him on the run where he can create a little bit within the framework of what the plan is.
But Jaden was also striking out for 50-yard touchdowns with his legs. Cam don't have that dynamic.
No, Cam is running to pass, not running to run a lot of times. It's not a one-to-one comparison. But, I'd like to see them move him around. And I think you saw a little bit more of that on Sunday in Phoenix. Coach Mack, Titans Radio's head coach, joins us next. Ramona Will at 104.5 The Zone continues on this Thursday morning. Coach Mack calling us back as we get him on here in seconds. Titans Radio's head coach breaking down Titans and the Raiders in beautiful Las Vegas this weekend. All of our visits with Coach Dave McGinnis, presented by our good friends at Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer. Mack, how we doing? Good morning.
Doing good, guys. You guys doing good this morning?
We're great.
Good, Mac. Good morning.
Have a little fall air. We're got another Vols weekend coming up. Ramon's back at it in Knoxville, and we're headed to Vegas this weekend, Mac. It's hard not to be excited about it.
Yes, we are. Well, we're just burning some more jet fuel because we burned plenty going out there in Arizona, and we're getting ready to burn a bunch more going back out to Vegas. So looking forward to it.
That is absolutely right. Mac, we just got done talking about this, and I'm curious about up-tempo offenses and how that makes a quarterback like Cam comfortable. He's clearly had success late in some of these games running more tempo, and I know Brian Callahan said yesterday maybe that's something they could do more of. What is the downside from an offensive perspective, Mac, to running more tempo? Like, why don't more teams do this when you've got all these reasons why it puts the defense in conflict, they can't sub, all these things? What is the negative to running tempo from an offensive perspective?
But you can't get a lot of your offense in. I mean, you're relegated to just a little bit of it because, and again, it depends on the maturity of your offense because it takes quite a bit, and there's a lot that goes into it. You can talk to Ramon about being able to identify protections and doing those types of things, as you're moving through something like that. But the other thing is, I've always used to like tempo as a changeup because what it does, if you haven't been able to generate or get anything started consistently, sometimes it helps, quite a bit. But there's times when you really need to settle down and be able to gather, between plays and get in the huddle. I mean, it's something that you need. It's something that you need in your arsenal, but it's not something that back when Jim Kelly and those guys were running the K gun and doing that type of stuff. That's all that they did. That's all that they did. And so defensively, what you could do is pretty soon you can get set as to where you can automatic blitz and pressure stuff that they don't have time to get ready for. That's what we used to do, is have automatic pressures and stuff against it, depending on, because it gets pretty patterned because the variety of things that you can do from it is fairly limited. I always liked it as a change up, but found out that sooner or later it's like anything else. It's like pressing the accelerator all the time on your car. You're going to run out of gas pretty quick.
Coach Mack, presented by Two Rivers Ford, our guest this morning on Ramon and Will. Mack, 6 touchdowns, 9 picks for Geno Smith so far this year. He's taken 16 sacks. His passer rating's only 75.6. What are the commonalities? What are the common issues for Geno Smith? What's not working for this Raiders offense coming off a 40-6 loss in Indy?
Well, they've been moving. Their offensive line's not settled. They lost their left tackle. They're playing checkers with their offensive line, moving guys around in different spots. And any quarterback, it depends on the continuity of their offensive line sooner or later during the totality of a 17-game season. That's their issue right now, because Geno Smith has not been one to take a lot of sacks normally during his career, because he's had a good career. But I really believe, just watching, Rhett's got all the numbers. Rhett's the guy that's in charge of all the alphabet numbers. He and I get together. He gets all that stuff figured out as far as just what the numbers say. My eyes tell me when I'm watching this thing, though, that they're not settled on the offensive line. That's led to their issues so far.
Coach Mack with us this morning. Mack Attack, when you going back to the tempo side of this conversation, as a defensive coach, you did say you guys would try to at least force the offense to answer more quickly, meaning if they're going to go tempo, you also want to speed them up. That's how you guys operated defensively against a tempo team too?
Absolutely. We had automatic blitzes against tempo. We'd go automatic blitzes against tempo, depending on what we could glean from film study, because there's only so many things that you could do. And if you're running tempo all the time, then that's what we would do. We would pressure those things because, as you well know, going to the huddle, being able to get a chance to sit, being able to gather yourself, and we would try to pressure people out of the tempo stuff. And it wouldn't just be zero pressures. We had a lot of automatic zone pressures that we would run against it, as far as to where we would give one look and then come with another, and not give them much chance to look at it between series. And that's what we would do. And we felt like that if we played somebody that was tempo and all the time, that's usually what got them out of it.
It would be. And one negative play usually does it for them, too, is it's the part of like the drops. Then you got to reset because now we can sub in and out of it. It's complex. And as you said to a second ago, like it matters to how much Cam can handle and also improv, because when we were doing it with the quarterback that we had with Ben, he would give us a protection up front. He goes 76. All right, and the route that the receivers were supposed to run, he would actually change them himself. And having an understanding of the playbook is how you're allowed to do those types of things. It's a very fine line, Coach Mack, on when to and when not to do those types of things, and who is also allowed to.
Yeah, well, I like it as a change-up. When I was a head coach, I really liked it as a change-up because sometimes it gets you in rhythm as an offense. It does. I mean, and there's times. But as I started all this off by saying, Mo, you guys were mature offense, a mature offense, in the fact that you have guys around that have been together for a while. If you could do that, as I said, I've defensed when the Bills were running all that K-gun stuff with Jim Kelly and stuff. Now they knew what they were doing, but they did it all of the time, and so I like it as a change-up. But it's not an end all to be all, especially if you're trying to develop an offense.
Well, I do know this though, and having watching Pete Carroll from USC to Seattle now, going back to the Raiders also. One thing I know about his teams are this: they're going to play really good defense, but offensively, he's going to have a monster running game. He's going to have a quarterback with a monster arm. He has him, Coach Mack, but they're not clicking the way they need him to. The run game is, but not Geno. At some point, you'd expect them to get back to running the football and doing more play action. Is that what you're worried of this weekend as the Titans go to Vegas?
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's really what they've been leaning on since they've been having trouble. They've been having trouble protection-wise, like I say, Mo, because they've been moving their offensive line around. I mean, it's been different pieces that they've been putting together. People are playing at different spots. But Ashton Jeanty, he's a problem. He's a real issue, and you're right. Pete has always liked to hammer the football. That's what they're doing right now. Ashton Jeanty is a big problem right now, and especially without Brock Bowers, really without their top two tight ends right now because of injury, they're leaning on that running game pretty heavy.
Coach Mack at Titans Radio, our guest this morning on Ramon and Will. Mack, it's interesting the role that Pete Carroll has Jamal Adams playing on defense. And he only played 40 snaps last year between the Titans and the Detroit Lions. But he went to Vegas, and Pete Carroll told him day one, you are a will linebacker. What intrigues you? What stands out when you watch the film of the way they are deploying Jamal Adams and what's working for him as he kind of has a little bit of a career revival this year?
Well, a will linebacker. He's playing will linebacker in a 4-3 defense, which is on the open side of the offense. He goes to the open side. He'll always flip to the open side. And as a will linebacker there, I mean that's really a hybrid part between a drop down safety and he doesn't have to take on many tight ends. If you get into a double tight end set, then you can force that front, into making him play on a closed side. But because he's playing on the open side, he's always been a big run and hit guy. Always been a big run and hit guy, and he's still got, even though he may not have the range back there at the third level, if he's back there deep, when he's dropped down, he can still bring a hammer. He's always been a very, very physical safety, and that's what he's doing right now. And the linebackers that I've transferred from safety in my career, that's normally where they'll play in a 4-3 is a will linebacker because you're putting them on the open side. You're being able to let them free flow a little bit. That's exactly what he's doing now with Jamal Adams.
Max Crosby has been playing at a high level for a long time. He only has 2 sacks so far this year. And we were talking with Rhett yesterday. His pressure rate this season is below league average and well below his average for a lot of his career. What is unique about him? What makes him so good? And how will the Raiders try to use him to challenge Cam Ward in this Titans offense?
Well, he's the guy you got to take care of. He reminds me a lot. His game are very, very similar to a guy that I think, Titans fans will be well aware of. He's like Kyle Vanderbilt was. He's just relentless. I mean, he is a relentless player. He's been injured a little bit, and that's been the issue. He has not quite been the terror that he normally is. His effort is still the same, but, sometimes a little tweaks to players, slows them down a little bit. But here's the problem with a guy like that. All you've got to do is start thinking that maybe he's not everything that he is when you get ready to play him, and then he'll start to wear you out. We still have got to be very, very wary of him because he won't quit. He will not quit. He's a relentless player, and I'm talking about run and pass. You've got to be able to count for him. And that's the guy that you just don't want to sleep on. That's what I've been seeing. He hasn't had, because of the injury, he hasn't had quite the twitch he's had early on. But all he's got to do is start feeling better just a little bit, and you've got a big problem on your hands.
Coach Mack, man, it's cool watching training camp sometimes and seeing competitions kind of unfold in front of our eyes. One of those competitions was at inside linebacker, and one of the guys that won it was Cedric Gray. Coach Mack, it's been refreshing to kind of watch him still grow and get better and take this opportunity after missing most of his rookie year. And 29 tackles in 2 weeks, Coach Mack, that's cooking right there. I know that number's a little high and you want your guys to make their plays, but he's answering the call weekly, Coach Mack, at this point. What have you seen from him and his growth this year?
Well, he looks to me like the guy that I vetted that when you did the draft. We did the draft.
Yeah.
North Carolina. I mean, he's always been a great K&D or key diagnosed guy. He's a trigger guy. I mean, he plays. He's got a really quick trigger. He'll go down here. He's a physical player, and some players on defense just have a natural GPS to the ball. Mm-hmm. He's always had that. And really, I mean, he's not a second-year player. He's a first-year player, because he lost all of that very valuable time getting ready for his professional career when he first came in here, because he had no base at all, none, because he was injured and couldn't do things. That's a vital developmental time for young players. And, I mean, Frank Bush has done a tremendous job with him. And to Cedric's credit, he has taken really to Frank Bush and was able to overcome the disappointment of not being able to do what he wanted to do that first year. I mean, he's a legitimate threat now as a behind-the-ball linebacker, and he's only getting better. But he's the guy that when, you vet him and you looked at him, you're saying, there's the guy that I saw at North Carolina that got him drafted into the National Football League. I mean, and that's helped this defense a whole lot. I love the way he's playing, and I love the way that he's constantly developing. You can tell that he's a hard film study guy, because you can't get ahead of that many blocks during a live action that he does without really being a good film study guy. He's a legitimate player.
There's a rookie in this team, Coach Mack, that's taking full advantage of this rookie year, almost as if kickoff returns and punt returns aren't something you turn away from the TV or the game from. Chimere Dike is making a name for himself, Coach Mack, on special teams.
Well, yeah, a lot of people do, and I remember it. Again, I'm not going to call out any names because I'm not, that doesn't do me any good or anybody else. But wonder why he was named as a returner, because they didn't get to. People were saying we didn't get to see him any, during the preseason. Believe me, Bones knew what he was doing. Keeping this guy ready to be the returner. The other thing that's helped this a lot too is that if you really watch, I mean, it's those returns are schemed up pretty well. But what has to happen is Tim is very, very in tune with the way that people are blocking for him with the schemes. Because if you'll watch it, a lot of it is like are these kickoff returns are like counter plays. I mean, they're set up with the blocking. There's a lot of things that go into it. But what I like that Tim is doing he doesn't waste any motion. In other words, if he's supposed to hit a crease between 2 or 3 blockers, he will set it up. And I mean, it's been a fun thing to watch because it's really been. I mean, it's a great example of what can happen when you get a veteran special teams coach that can connect with players and get things working. I mean, the dichotomy between what you've seen from some of these guys on teams last year, of course, a lot of them are brand new, with what Bones Fossil has brought this year. I mean, it's had a lot of guys elevate their games. The special teams have been the one real consistent thing for this football team so far, and now we're starting to see the fruition of it.
Mm-hmm. Coach Dave McGinnis, presented by Two Rivers Ford, joins us Thursdays at 7:20 here on the show. Mack and a lot of the Titans crew, including Titans alumni, will be at Ole Red. 5 to 8 is when you can be at the Titans Road Rally if you are making the trip to Vegas. That's Ole Red in Vegas this upcoming weekend. Excited to see some of the people out there, Mack.
Yeah, Brett and I are going to be involved in that quite a bit. I think all of us are. That's a good thing. And you know what? Coming off of the heels of a win, that should be all the road rallies I've been involved with the Titans over the years have been very, very successful. This should be a lot of fun out there in Vegas.
No doubt.
Love it. Looking forward to it, Mack. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Matt.
Mo, good luck against the Hogs, Mo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Looking forward to it, Coach Mack.
See you guys
later. Coach Mack.
So we put a hog on the grill this upcoming weekend. I might smoke some ribs on Sunday if things go the way they need to.
Gosh, that'd be awful. Would hate that.
Yeah.
Would absolutely hate that. No, I will probably make an appearance at that road rally as well and have a cold beverage and hang out.
Having a cold beverage.
Vibe.
When you ain't got to go play, listen to me.
I would always tell myself when I was running, because I wasn't very good at running in college. I would always tell myself,
minimize it, man.
No, it's fine. I was the worst member of our recruiting class. I was not good. It's okay. It's part of my story. I'm here now. I would always tell myself, because I did what I consider the hardest sport. It's fine. We don't have to relitigate that, because the goal of the sport is to put yourself in as much physical pain as possible. Yeah. I would always tell myself, I got to find a way to go on these trips and not have the stress of competing. And thank God I've done it. Thank God I've done it.
Man.
The ability to go on these trips, to hang out with teams, just be a part of a sport, but not have to do the sport and put yourself in a lot of physical pain.
Yes.
It's fun, isn't it?
It makes the trip so much better. Even down to Mississippi, man. I was just like, we went to Philip Noel had a friend of his who went to his one of his friends' house. It was on a golf course. It was a private golf course.
There you go.
I sat there and pet their dogs. I had a brew.
Should have led with that.
I was just like, this is, if you can sneak on the team, well, you ain't lying, man.
Coming up, which underdog of these 3 SEC games has the best chance to win this week? Missouri against Alabama, Oklahoma, and Texas, A&M, Florida. We'll take a look at the SEC slate coming up next.
You're losing your hair and you need a simple solution that works. You want the best modern technology with top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need Dr. Tanya Pauls and her team at Advanced Hair. They've completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results, receding hairline, balding spot, thinning hair, address them all with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment in a calm, relaxed environment with the most experienced professionals. Advanced Hair has performed tens of thousands of these breakthrough treatments. And get this, your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day. No one in Nashville can offer anything like that Advanced FUE found at Advanced Hair, and I highly recommend their team. It starts with your free consultation. You can call them 629-348-HAIR. And if you qualify, you'll also get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hair with the team that's redefined hair restoration. That's Advanced Hair. Again, the number 629-348-HAIR, or visit their website at advancedhair.com.
Thursday morning continues. Ramona Will is fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Coming up, we'll talk a little bit more Titans with you in 10 minutes. Brian Callahan on the Titans' biggest issue on offense this year. Coming up here at the top of the second half of the show. Big weekend of SEC football. Let me just throw in actually a fourth game that we're going to talk about here on underdogs with the best chances to win in the SEC this weekend. Missouri at home against Alabama. Missouri, I believe, getting 3.5 or 4.5 points still.
Well, they're undefeated. You're right.
They are undefeated, maybe with the best running back in the country and ULM transfer Ahmad Hardy.
I got the quarterback with the simplest name that's hardest to say.
Bo Pribula.
Pribula. I've heard Pribula.
I've heard it all.
I've heard it all.
Yeah.
It's almost like Raymond Ramon.
Texas is a favorite against Oklahoma. Texas A&M getting 7.5 against Florida. Georgia, Auburn. Which of those four underdogs, Oklahoma, Florida, Auburn, or Missouri, have the best chance of winning? Or how many of them do you think are winning outright this weekend?
I got Oklahoma. That's the only one for me, Oklahoma.
Okay.
I'm actually shocked that Oklahoma's an underdog in this game.
So we're going to get into this more in the Thursday 3 in the fourth hour. And I thought the same thing. I sat and kind of broke down that matchup a little bit last night and just thought about it and read some stuff about it and listened to Josh Pate talk about it. I think Texas wins. I'm on the Texas side now.
As uneasy as Arch has been to look at?
Here's the thing. I think DJ Lagway and Dallas Wilson together, I think that Florida team we saw Saturday in the swamp, in that environment, is not close to the same Florida team we saw play Miami. I think Dallas Wilson made a big difference for that team.
No doubt.
I don't think that's as bad of a loss as maybe it's made out to be because of Florida's record. Now, we'll see if Florida can sustain that this weekend against A&M because I don't know if they can on the road in that environment. But that's a tough place to play, and that's a desperate football team.
No doubt.
Well, now the shoe's on the other foot. Who's the more desperate team in Red River this weekend? It's Texas.
It is.
It's without a doubt Texas. I think that staff is too good for them to be a 3-loss team on the second weekend of October. I just think that they find a way. I really do. And I know John Mateer, the rumblings out there that he's going to play in this game. I'm starting to think he is really going to play.
You actually do?
I just don't care. I think Texas is still good enough defensively to slow them down. I think it's a low-scoring game, and one team makes a couple more plays, and I think it's the more desperate team, which is Texas.
To what it is, a shootout.
I don't think it's a shootout. I think a game of Big Ten football breaks out at the Texas State Fair this weekend.
The only issue I have is this is the good competition that they face, they've lost. Right? I don't think we knew Florida was going to be that good. I didn't. Nobody thought Florida was going to be that good.
Florida finally looked to what we thought they could look like all year on Saturday.
But don't we believe that Oklahoma is still just as good defensively and offensively? They got skill. Yeah. And they've also coming off the bye week with a quarterback that's trying to figure an offense out.
But Oklahoma does not have an offense. 71st nationally in rushing offense, Oklahoma.
It's Mateer is what you're telling me. It's the offense.
It's got to be. I mean, I don't know. I think Oklahoma beat a very mediocre Auburn team. They beat a one-dimensional Michigan team with a freshman quarterback in their building.
At home.
I think they are not as in need of this game as Texas is, and I think that's the difference when the margins are this thin.
If I could bet, I go money line Oklahoma.
Which is fair, but that line is so weird to me that it makes me think that Vegas is right. 82% of the money as of yesterday was on Oklahoma, which makes me lean Texas. Vegas is good at what they do. They don't often get got on 82% of the public.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
I also think Missouri would be the next best. I don't trust Auburn. I don't trust Jackson Arnold to beat a Georgia team that's already lost, to be honest with you. I think Missouri can get after Ty Simpson the way FSU did. That's what I think is interesting about Missouri. 21st in the country, 2.8 sacks per game. Missouri is number 1 in FBS in rushing yards allowed per game, 62.4. If Jam Miller can't run it and they put Ty Simpson in obvious passing downs and Damon Wilson and Zion Young can start to get after the quarterback, Missouri's got a chance in that game. Now, if Bama gets up early on script the way they have at times this season, unlike against Vanderbilt, and you take Ahmad Hardy out of the game to where Missouri has to be in a drop-back passing game, then I love Alabama in this game. I think the first half tells us a ton about Alabama-Missouri because I don't think Missouri is built to come from behind. Any team that is so reliant on one running back, the way they are on Ahmad Hardy, is not going to be built to play from behind when they've got to ask their quarterback to do more than what he should be asked to do.
Sure. You've said Drinkwitz with a running back is a team that can surprise you each and every year. Pribler is a guy, I messed it up again, is a guy that's super dynamic with his legs too. They got the same issues, I feel like. They got the same strengths as Alabama does this week. It's a matter of if Missouri, to your point, games like this are usually won more in the trenches than the actual guys that are making plays for them. And you're telling me that Missouri has a run defense that's allowing 60 rush yards a game?
No, Missouri has not played anyone either. And we could do this all day early this season. Like, it's early October. No one's really played anyone relative to what they will be.
We're into defining moments of college football now for every team moving forward.
Welcome to October.
Okay.
Welcome to October. Welcome to the best sports month of the year for a reason.
Understood.
We're going to learn. We're going to learn, is Missouri really that good of a run defense, or have they not played a rush offense that really challenges them?
And to your point, yeah, Central Arkansas, Kansas, Louisiana.
Yeah, not exactly a murderer.
The one SEC team is kind of shameful that they beat was South Carolina 29-20. That's not a blowout.
No, it's not. A decent Carolina team, but I think Missouri may cover and lose. I think it's Alabama real close if I was wagering on it. But that will not be a wager in my Thursday 3.
Missouri gets lost in the SEC far too much, and they should be more respected.
Well, yeah, they're playing high school teams to start the year.
That's true, too.
I mean, honestly, Missouri, like their schedule has done this now 2 years in a row. They got the benefit of a schedule that Texas and Oklahoma were on the other side of. Mm-hmm. Missouri has not left their stadium.
They haven't. I just realized that.
Yeah, they start the year with 6 home games, including this weekend. They will go on the road to play their first road game of the season at Auburn on the third Saturday in October, next weekend. Yeah.
I don't know if
They're just sitting there, just waiting, just twiddling their thumbs, waiting for Alabama to show up. It's all right, we'll be here at 11 a.m., bright and early. Y'all come on down.
I don't know if I like the way they're setting these schedules up like this.
Well,
I get it.
Part of it's luck of the draw.
It is.
And he has literally had a water slide into competitive play.
Yeah.
615-737-1045. We get to Paul and Franklin to start hour 3. Plus, Brian Callahan pinpoints the biggest issue the Titans offense has faced this year next.
Good morning. It's 8:02 from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Jackson Williams. Titans back on the practice field yesterday as Tony Pollard, L'Jarius Sneed, Tyler Lockett all held out of practice for rest, along with Blake Hance, Marcus Harris, Van Jefferson, Arden Key, James Lynch, Jeffrey Simmons, and Joey Sly all nursing injuries. J.C. Latham returned to practice on a limited basis after missing the last 4 games with a hip injury. In other new NFL news, the Jags and Browns agreed to a trade last night as the Jaguars send cornerback Tyson Campbell and a 7th rounder to Cleveland for cornerback Greg Newsome and a 6th in the MLB. The Blue Jays take down the Yankees 5-2 last night to win that series 3-1 and advance to the ALCS. For your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Second half of the show and hour 3 getting started on Ramon and Will. We're fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Ramon Foster, Jackson Williams, Will Bowling, Jackson in for Justin. Thursday, 3 picks coming up in hour 4 at 9:20 as we preview the football weekend. And voice of the Vols, Mike Keith, back on the show here in just about 15 minutes. Very much a Friday Junior this morning, Ramon. 2 hours down, 2 to go.
Yeah, it feels like it too, man. I'm enjoying what today is. You got on a lot of orange today. I got on a lot of orange today.
We did not plan that.
We did not plan that at all.
But I did plan on giving Volunteer Traditions a shout out because we love them.
Yes, we
and
do.
they make us look good. And their new fleece outerwear is not only warm, it is not only fashionable with the Rifleman VOLS on the front here. I'll show to the 104.5 The Zone TV community. There we go. It is also very comfy, very soft, the kind that you want to pull the sleeves up to your palms and just kind of cozy up in it a little bit and talk about sports for 4 hours a morning. Fantastic fit as well. VolunteerTraditions.com where you go to get yours. The new fleece outerwear is fantastic. We love our friends at Voltron.
Got mine. Just posted it on my Instagram, man. Shout out to them. I need to make a stop because Jason Swain has asked me to get him a care package, so I got to make sure I do that.
The store in Gallatin.
Yeah, absolutely. I might have to stop there and pick up something for Swizzy in Knoxville.
I have a friend who's an Auburn friend because that's, again, second biggest fan base in Nashville. It's crazy. We're overrun with Auburn Tigers everywhere. Who has told me before, he's like, I would be such a big Volunteer Traditions person if I was a Tennessee fan. Like, well, you're in luck. They have Titan Blue stuff as well.
You should have told
for
him.
Sundays.
You can be. Just leave Auburn behind.
No, he's told me. He's like, would it be weird if I bought a Rifleman hat from Volunteer Traditions because they look so cool? I'm like, well, you know what? I'm not going to judge you.
I won't judge
and
you.
Plenty of others in Middle Tennessee won't either.
Listen, Bama, Yankees, Kentucky basketball, Duke basketball, Kansas basketball have all been benefiting. Ohio State has all been benefiting from people choosing them. You can do the same to the Vols.
Alex on YouTube says, pull up sleeves to palms. You want pumpkin spice with that white girl? Yes. Are you buying? Can you drop 10 Music Circle East, Alex, if you want to come drop by? I would love a pumpkin spice
Absolutely.
latte.
I would drink the coffee with 2 hands, too. Like,
sounds great.
You think we're going to lean away
You
from
think I'm going to decline a pumpkin spice Scooter's latte? Pumpkin caramelicious, Alex, is my order. If you want to throw in a pumpkin cheesecake cake pop or cake bite as well from Scooter's Coffee, you're welcome to buy me coffee. Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Alex, if you want to get the mobile app and order ahead for me, please. Get the smiles. That way the next time you get me coffee from Scooter's, you can get something for you as well. But yes, I would love a pumpkin spice. Thank
People
you so
try
much.
to shame folks for what they like. Like, I like a drink every once in a while with an umbrella in it. Okay, I love a straight neat whiskey, okay, or bourbon. I absolutely love it. Heck, tequila's been on my radar a lot lately. Love it. And añejo, extra añejo, love them too, okay? A reposado, all of them. But if you see me, okay, with a Crown Peach with a little sweet tea in there, mind your business.
Mind your business. Keep it moving.
I enjoy and like what I like. Don't shame me for me liking what I like. If Will likes his sweaters over his arms and a nice pumpkin spice in there too, with a little, you know what I'm saying, with a banana nut bread on the side of it, so be it. Man likes what he likes. All right? And
You know
I
what
like
else?
an umbrella drink from time to time.
You know what else I like?
What?
When Paul and Franklin calls in to talk balls.
Hey, Paul, you better come with it. We out here talking about
that.
all this fall stuff right now. Get with us, Paul.
Paul is in Franklin this morning. What's up, Paul?
Come on, Paul.
Good morning. It's great to be alive and be in Tennessee. Let me just get right down to it right now. I'm going to keep it short and sweet this morning, but I'm going to get right to the point. You know, I did some price checking yesterday. What pulled pork is a pound around Franklin, Spring Hill area, and it's anywhere from $12, $13, $14, $15 a pound. If you love pulled pork barbecue, I got some advice for you. Just wait till Saturday afternoon about 7 o'clock, because it's going to go on sale, baby. They're going to have to give it away. Because we're going to barbecue some hogs, baby. And I'm going to tell you what, the score is going to be about 44-20. We barbecuing the hogs, baby. That's my comment. Go Vols, and I got to say one thing about the old Tennessee Titans. You know what? I was saying tighten up for the first 4 weeks of the season. Wasn't working. Then I changed it up. I said, we're going to tighten down. Well, guess what, baby? Go Vols and tighten down. God bless you.
Don't mess it up.
Thank you, Paul.
Don't mess it up, Paul.
Appreciate the call.
If it worked, you keep doing it, Paul.
It's working for Vandy
Yeah.
with their anchor.
Yeah.
They're not anchor up. They're anchor down.
They are.
Working for them this year, so maybe we go tighten down.
Maybe we can start saying high tide out here for Alabama.
All right, let's not get crazy. Let's not
I
get
will
crazy.
say, they got another one of those type of commercials where the dude found out his boss was a Georgia fan. He went,
That is funny.
And go Dogs.
He
Woo, woo, woo.
starts barking in a meeting. They do that.
And he got fired behind that. Paul brings it, man. Paul said about $16 a pound, $12 a pound for some pulled pork. Go ahead, get you a slab, man. Hit the K. Rogers and get you one this weekend.
Let's hear from Brian Callahan talking about the biggest issue the Titans have had on offense this year. The question came yesterday in his press conference saying, is there a common thread when your offense is struggling to move the chains in short fields or capitalize off of special teams and turnovers giving you short fields? Callahan had this to say.
Common thread. I mean, there's always. I think there's more common thread just in the ability to move the ball consistently. I don't know that it's necessarily a short field issue or a normal field issue. I think we're searching for more consistent play from top to bottom so we can keep moving the ball forward. I think we took some steps in the right direction, particularly in the second half of the Arizona game. We've had some drives that we've been able to move the ball, but we just need more. We were in much better down in distances against the Cardinals this past week, a little more manageable, stayed on schedule a little bit better, and looking for that to improve. That's probably the biggest issue for us when it comes to drives being stalled is spending way too much time in third and long. You know, those are really low percentage conversion downs. They've ended drives for us, and you get into the 3rd and 8+, it's just a lot harder to convert, and we haven't done a good enough job on third down in general. So that's where we're looking to improve. I think that'll allow us to have more opportunities to move the ball consistently. So staying manageable and then converting third downs is a huge part of a huge emphasis for us.
It's Titans head coach Brian Callahan speaking yesterday. Coach Mack brought something up in the last hour I thought was interesting of I think the way they're going to try to manage this game Sunday. Against a 4-3 where the third linebacker, the will linebacker for the Raiders, is kind of a converted safety. Not kind of. He is a converted safety. It's Jamal Adams. I think you're more likely to go heavier up front and try to force that guy to come down and get blocked by Gunnar Helm or Chikakonkwo than you are going quicker and more up-tempo. Yep. I think they might pick their moments situationally to go with tempo, but Ramon, I think the opposite's probably true Sunday. This Raiders defense that has struggled at the linebacker position, and one of your old teammates, Landon Roberts, who's been around a long time, who's getting a little bit older. Yeah. You force some of those guys to play physical, hard run defense. I think you have the advantage with some of your bigger guys against a smaller type linebacker in Jamal Adams.
For where Landon Roberts is, they got Jamal Adams to make up for him. Landon will come downhill on you.
Right.
To your point about setting up to where you got to put a big on Jamal Adams, that's where you can scheme about with those type of situations right there. You asked me yesterday, why has he been more efficient tackling at the linebacker position? Watching his tape, Jamal Adams, that is, all he is doing, man, is weaseling his way through the mess of the offensive line and defensive line and making tackles. Coach Mack said it when I interviewed him. He's a contact guy, and you see that be his style of play when it comes down to him being closer to the line of scrimmage. If there's one thing that you can take advantage of, it is him in those type of situations. He don't want to wrestle with the bigs. And I say that out of respect for him because here's the thing about it. Size is not on his advantage. When you're trying to move bodies up front with a dude like him, you're hoping they leave him in the box or you motion somebody out to where he got to stay in and be a run stopper.
On paper, this Raiders defense struggles to tackle. Elandon Roberts has 6 missed tackles in 5 games. It's 23% missed tackle rate. According to Pro Football Focus, 10th-year player who spent the last 2 years in Pittsburgh, his first year in Vegas. Devin White is someone that Pro Football Focus is not high on.
Never have been.
Never have been. 38.4 is his PFF grade. That's 72nd out of 75 linebackers. He's missed 7 tackles this year, had 9 sacks in 2020. And he's someone they can bring off the edge, too, in that 4-3 and move him around a bit. Jamal Adams has been graded very well by a lot of the analytics and things like that. But I do think you're more likely to see 12 personnel and maybe even 13 in this game and some of the 2 tight end, 3 tight end looks that you are to see this team go spread and tempo. I think they're going to pick their moments to do that pretty carefully in times in the game where they feel like their defense can afford to take the risk with tempo on offense.
Going back to a player on their defense, Devin White. The Devins in the 2019 NFL draft,
oh my gosh,
did not turn out to be anything.
Devin White felt like as much of a sure thing coming out of LSU
Easy starter.
Anyone in that draft.
Easy starter.
Yeah.
Him and it was between him and Devin Bush out of Michigan.
Exactly.
And Pittsburgh chose Devin Bush and they moved up to get him, and neither one of those dudes have turned.
Right.
I mean, they're still in the league, so they're a success story.
And Devin White's got a ring with Tampa.
He does. And was a good part of that one.
Yeah,
but when Tampa didn't bring him back, I was beyond shocked.
I know. Hey, that was 9 sacks was in that COVID year when they won the Super Bowl.
Yep, sure was.
And he was a big part of it. So
huge part of it.
We'll see. I think the team that runs the ball better wins this one Sunday. Because the Titans have got to stop Genty. He is the guy you have to neutralize. Like, there's no one else on that offense without Brock Bowers that scares me. And I think Geno Smith becomes more dangerous if he's in 3rd and 2 and 3rd and 3 because Genty's running well on passing downs.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, I think the Titans can have success running the ball against the Raiders. Titans are just always going to have to run it to help out Cam, to open things up for
They
Cam.
will. And Titans defense is going to have to be very strategic about how they ask Jeff to do his job, because I feel like with Genty naturally wanting to bounce outside, I don't know if you're going to get the same effect of Jeff if he does play outside the box. The end's going to have to be good this week.
I got a text from Buck Rising after our conversation about pumpkin coffee. It says, just picked up a caramel pumpkin chai with an extra shot of espresso for my farmer's market.
Real one.
See, there you go.
And he at the farmer's market.
The only thing that disappoints me is you're not at Scooter's Coffee getting that, but that's okay. We'll work on it.
I can respect it. And Alex said he wasn't shaming either, but I just had to lean in.
Oh, yeah, no, we're just having fun.
You a real one. I just need you to know that.
Absolutely right. The caramel and pumpkin together is something I've never done until this year, but I like it quite a bit.
Listen.
We know
like
ball.
what you like.
That's right. Yeah. Voice of the Vols, Mike Keith, joins us next.
Is your concrete in need of repair? Maybe your sidewalk is shifted on you. Your driveway is cracked or sinking, or your porch steps have moved. Shifting concrete can create a dangerous situation and trip hazard around your home. I'm telling you, man, if you have people come over and trip on your property, or grandma, man, you don't want her tripping over stuff and hurting anything. Well, that's why you need USS. Whatever's going on with your concrete, call United Structural Systems. Ask them about their polyurethane foam injections. You've heard about USS for a long time, but it's the same company that's provided superior foundation repair and waterproofing to Middle Tennessee since 1994. Well, they can fix your sunken or settling concrete. USS uses polyurethane foam injections to lift and repair your sinking concrete in a matter of minutes. Lifted concrete can be walked on immediately or even driven on after about 30 minutes. So don't go through that long, expensive process of ripping out and replacing concrete. Reach out to the company I trust, man. That's USS. Go to their website at USSTN.com. That's USSTN.com. Or call them 615-488-7855. United Structural Systems.
Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee, continues this morning on 104.5 The Zone with the Vol Network analyst and 11-year NFL veteran Ramon Foster. I'm Will Bowling. Pleased to be joined by the voice of the Vols, Mike Keith, back from the bye, previewing Tennessee and Arkansas, presented by our friends at Two Rivers Ford and Volunteer Traditions. Mike, welcome back. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. Thank you.
Mike, what areas is this Tennessee team focused on improving out of the bye week? They're getting healthier. Good to see David Hobbs not have his name on the injury report last night. What was the focus of the bye week, and what do you think this team wants to hit the ground running with this Saturday as they host Arkansas?
Well, a couple of things. You know, this team has played 27 true freshmen and 48 freshmen. That's most in the country.
Wow.
And so for the majority of that group, this was their first bye. So I'm sure a guy like Ty Redmond is going, what just happened? You know, we've been going for, this is not like high school because it's week 7 in the TSSAA. The high school season's almost over. Right now, you're not even to the halfway point of the college season. So it's an adjustment. And so getting those guys used to the adjustment, making sure they take care of their bodies, and sort of settling them back in where there's not a game to prepare for that you could say, and I'm using Ty Redmond as an example, you could say, okay, Ty, we can take a breath right here, and this is what you've done well. This is what you've not done well. And here's what you're going to see coming up over the next few weeks. These are the things you need to focus upon. So I think it's different with different groups throughout the team. From the offense's standpoint, the specific things, the path of the run game. Ramon touched on it in our broadcast at Mississippi State. The running backs have got to stay with the path. They missed a couple of open holes if they stay with the path properly. So let's do that. Let's throw it and catch it better. Let's cut out the pre-snap penalties. Let's take care of some of those sorts of things. Defensively, let's take care of the edge, especially this week. That's going to be a big area of concentration with maybe the best running quarterback in the country. Certainly one of the best and one of the most unusual because of Taylon Green's size. And then, just making sure overall communication is good situationally. There have been situations where the Vols have not been lined up on defense. And you could see it. We could see it. And you're like, oh, that's not good. And then it didn't turn out good.
Right.
So, those are the sorts of things where this ball club can improve. And I think the most exciting part of it, Will, is if they do, they can continue to get better. They have played better than I thought they would to this point. I think most people would agree with that. And for where they are at this moment, everything is still on the table. They've got to grow and they've got to play better football because what will be required down the stretch is quite tough, starting with an Arkansas team that you haven't beaten since 2007, and then a bunch of tough road games. And SEC road teams this year in conference games are 4-11.
Wow.
And Tennessee has one of those wins. So, and Georgia has one too at Tennessee, and quite frankly, that's one they shouldn't have won. So that number ought to be 3-12, and had Mississippi State been able to close things out, it could be 2-13. That's how difficult the road is in the conference, and all of those sorts of things have to come together for a Tennessee team, knowing they're going to play at Alabama. They're going to play at Kentucky, which, I mean, for what, you know what you're going to get there. You're going to get Kentucky's best effort, and then you got to go to Florida, and you haven't played well in the swamp since, 1964 or something. Or so it seems, right? It feels that way. That's not accurate.
Well, Mike, when you look at this team, too, and some of the reinforcements they're getting back, I know David Sanders' debut coming in such a big spot against Mississippi State. It was a big deal how he handled that. And I remember covering Trey Smith's entrance to Tennessee football when he first got there. And this was a guy who, as a freshman, sounded and talked like a senior. He carried himself well. He had a plan. And I'm going to use this studio and this platform to give myself an NFL career. I see a lot of the same things in David. I know we've talked about this before in the offseason. How big of an opportunity does he still have, Mike? Because it feels like this offensive line has exceeded expectations, has played so well, yet now they get back maybe their most raw, talented player in that entire room who's now getting on-the-job experience for the first time.
That's it. I mean, you've just added a talent. You've added, I mean, you look at all the programs on this campus, and, you know, we talk about Nate Ament in the basketball program and the freshman in the Lady Vols program. And I was talking to Karen Weekly and Tony Vitalo about their freshmen and what they've seen this fall. This is another one in a sport where, you know, because you play 22, sometimes you don't think the impact is as great as it is on a sport where they play 5 or they play 9. But this guy can have that sort of impact because he's that kind of talent. And I think that's something that's very exciting for this football team, is they're adding a guy that for 6 months was your starting right tackle. He walked in the building and he was your starting right tackle. And so then, you know, wake up on Saturday morning of the Syracuse game, he's your starting right tackle until he gets to the stadium and they find out he can't play. And then you go through the 4 weeks and, you know, he stepped in and he did what you thought he would do. So, I mean, I think overall you want to get him back in there. You want to get him the chance to do that. Now, Sham Umaroff has given you something at left guard that you never expected. Now you have versatility with Satterwhite at center, with the Umaroff at guard, with some of the other guys that have stepped in and had a chance to play when they've gotten ahead. They feel like they have some good rotational depth, but is he one of your best 5? Absolutely he is, because he's that kind of talent.
Joined by the voice of the Vols, Mike Keefe, this morning. Mike, when you during the bye week and you had some time to talk to a multitude of people, one of them was Colton Hood. Mike, what have you gotten from him, man, and his ability to just engulf himself in UT, this defense, and have turned himself into a guy that could potentially be a day one dude in the NFL draft this upcoming season? What was he like in person with you?
Very impressive. I think he certainly had a great game plan for what he wanted when he transferred. You know, he wanted an opportunity to play that outside man corner in a very aggressive system. And so I think he picked a place that really fit well for him. He got every opportunity in the spring. He got every opportunity in the summer. Because of McCoy's injury, he was going to be that guy. And they could say that to him when they went after him in the late period, that, you know, you're going to have a chance to be this guy. And so I think from that standpoint, you know, he gets here in late spring. He starts to work immediately with the ones. Through the summer, he works through the ones. Through August, he works through the ones. I mean, he plays like he talks, which is he's a guy who has a plan, knows who he is, and understands what he does well. He gets it. Very impressive athlete to be around him. You can see, you know, he's not the biggest guy in the world. He's not as big as Ty Redmond, but he has really good length for a guy his size. He's not afraid to tackle, likes contact. And as we like to say at different points in life, he ain't scared.
Right.
And I think it takes a very unusual player to play corner at a high level, because you almost have to have some Evel Knievel in you, that you're ready to jump over the Snake River Canyon or 27 buses on a motorcycle. There has to be some of that to you, because you're going to crash. Right. You're going to lose. It's going to be you. They are going to say the penalty is on number 8. They're going to say the guy who gave up the touchdown is number 8. It's going to happen. And you can't be afraid of that, fearful of that, or in any way intimidated by that. And he's not, which is what really gives you the opportunity to be a great player. I thought it was something interesting. We posted a clip on Instagram from the conversation that we had. And I was so thrilled because one of the guys who liked the clip was Champ Bailey.
Wow.
Another Georgia guy. And he's got the ties to Auburn that he mentioned in the interview because Roderick Hood is his uncle. And I only did like 27 games that Rod Hood played in the NFL. He's good, really good player. Yeah. And, that cornerback world is a little bit like your offensive line world, Ramon. You're all connected and you're all admirers and you all know each other. And to see Champ Bailey like something about Colton Hood, I was like, okay, that works.
Yeah, absolutely.
Champ Bailey was okay.
That's awesome.
Fair.
No, he was. Yeah. I think he
Decent.
got one of those fabric jackets. It's kind of gold,
off-white, perhaps.
Let's put it this way: if any two-way player in the 1990s was going to win the Heisman Trophy, it should have been Champ Bailey at Georgia.
You best believe it.
No doubt.
You best believe it, Mike. Tennessee this year has had a good bit of firsts. Mike, they were the first SEC team to play against Gunnar Stockton in new starting role for himself. First team to go to Mississippi State as an SEC team and playing a whiteout. And now here you are again after a bye week being the first team that plays a new outfit of what Arkansas football is with Bobby Petrino. Mike, we all know him. I got recruited by him also. What is he to them in this new coach bump that Arkansas can present to the Vols too?
Arkansas has more talent than Mississippi State. They're better. Mm-hmm. They're better on paper. They have more pro prospects. Mississippi State is really well coached, and I think they're doing a heck of a job down there. They've got some young players that are going to be pro prospects, but in the top level, the guys who are playing now, you're going to see more guys from Arkansas play on Sunday than what Tennessee saw a couple weeks ago. It's a better team. And they've got to play with more discipline. They've got to be put in the right places. These are the things that they're looking for with the switch to Bobby Petrino and what they've done with the changes to the defensive staff and kind of on and on and on through the group. They are trying to get a group. Hey, this is not a bad team. Mm-hmm. I mean, you look at Taylon Green, you look at Mike Washington, you look at Braylon Russell, you look at Omega Blake, you look at Platt and Jones at the tight end position. They have a bunch of big guys on defense. They are one of the biggest defenses that I've seen in a long, long time. They've just not played to the level that they should have. Now, they're in a one-score game at Ole Miss, game they could have won, and they should have beaten Memphis. By all rights, they should be 3-2 or 4-1 entering this game. They played poorly against Notre Dame. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to tighten everything up and come and play up to their potential. And that's what's really scary about them right now because they have a head coach in Petrino who certainly would know how to do that.
Mm-hmm. Mike, too, we've talked a lot about a certain quarterback and breaking down matchups with you in the NFL named Josh Allen, who I think you've called it like a single-wing tailback at quarterback with a big arm. Taylon Green's got a little bit of Josh Allen in him, too, and he's almost kind of built, Mike, like another single-wing tailback who can chuck it 60 yards in the air.
A similar prospect, Will. I think it's a good comparison, only this guy's faster. Green is more of a master of this system than what Josh Allen was coming out of Wyoming. This is a guy who's averaging 8 yards a carry. He can go 60 yards. He has this year. He has 3 runs over 40 yards, one over 50, another over 60. So you've got to stay with him. The other problem in this game, if you're Tennessee when you're playing against him, is in the secondary based on this. How long do you have to cover? Because if you don't get him on the ground and then you see him about to take off, do you come up and try to tackle him and leave your man too fast and all of a sudden he pulls up and throws the ball down the field? But I mean, listen, if you're standing flat-footed and you try to tackle him, he may flatten you,
right?
Or run by you. And so, I mean, you've got to stay plastered to your man forever and ever, but you also have to know he's going to take off. He's number 1 in the country in total offense, and it's not a fluke. I mean, if they were 4-1 right now, if they had beaten Ole Miss, he'd be a leading candidate for the Heisman Trophy. Right at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, hey, if they win the rest of their games, he might be anyway. If they were to go on a heater right here and I don't see anybody pulling away in that race, and you're looking at a guy who's going to have stats. So, yeah, I mean, this is a real challenge. I mean, for Tennessee, the obvious great situation would be to be in a position where the run game just has to leave and you make them a drop back throwing team. Josh Allen really was not capable of doing that when he got into the NFL. He sure can do it now. But if you'll remember, we played up there at one point his rookie year, and they ran him more than they threw him. And this kid has that ability, and somebody is going to like him for Sunday as a prospect. Even if they don't see him as a starter, there's going to be somebody who likes him as a prospect. Now, like Josh Allen, he's a gambler. He'll make a mistake or two. You got to take advantage of the mistakes.
He is the voice of the Vols, Mike Keith. He joins us in season at 8:20 every Thursday. Looking forward to listening to Tennessee and Arkansas. It has become very fun to listen to you guys, the pregame coverage, everything on my way to traveling with the team. And we'll be doing that and might see if the Zone app works in the air, in the sky, to get you guys for Tennessee and Arkansas this weekend. Really appreciate the time as always, Mike. Thanks so much.
Appreciate it, Mike.
Well, thanks for listening, Will, and please patronize our sponsors.
Absolutely. See you, Mike.
See you.
All right. Voice of the Vols, Mike Keith, with us this morning. Volunteer Traditions and Two Rivers Ford brings him to you the best.
No doubt, man. By the way, I'd be remiss if I didn't go ahead and say it now. Y'all go ahead and terrorize Brent Hubb's social media, okay? Today's his birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Brent.
Don't even wait till tomorrow. Go ahead and do it right now, okay? Happy
Terrorize
birthday.
his social media.
He's going to be wondering, why are all these people
Happy birthday, Brent. Here's terror. Come on. Why do we have to terrorize him? Wish him happy birthday.
If you know Hubs, okay, he enjoys this. At least I think he does. We're going to find out now.
I love it. Coming up, Nashville Predators back in action. Give you a little preview of what to expect from them. One big thing I'm watching, one big player I'm watching. That's no doubt about it. About the Nashville Predators. Talk a little hockey with you coming up next. Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone continues on this Thursday morning. We kind of act like it's just the prelude to Friday, like the appetizer. Friday Junior, what we like to call it here on the program.
It's when the white boots come outside if you're living around like Nashville.
The white boots.
Tell me I'm lying.
You're not lying.
Listen, you anywhere around Broadway, Music Circle where we are, tell me, like, I'm going to go outside on this next break. The white boots will be walking to Broadway already.
And there will be Sunday brunch reservations being made that ain't going to happen for Becky and Stacy and their trip to the big city of Nashville.
Rhonda is going to be there with them, too.
Like, let's go. 9 a.m. Sunday? We could do that before our flight.
See,
in the words of Magic Johnson, I ain't going to be there.
The Rhondas are the middle-aged women that come in.
That's fair. That's fair. Tonight, Nashville Predators hockey returns. Maybe people coming to town are headed to the Stone tonight, Bridgestone Arena. Preds and Blue Jackets, 7 o'clock, a new season beginning for a team that did not meet expectations last year. They got a little bit of history this year, Mo.
Yeah.
5th overall pick Brady Martin is on the opening day roster, and he is playing with a couple of guys who have a whole lot of experience. On a line with Philip Forsberg and Ryan O'Reilly. I am very interested to see what that looks like. 18-year-old Martin, who has impressed Andrew Burnett enough in preseason to give him the opening day nod, and really impressed Andrew Burnett in a piece written by John Glennon at the Nashville Post against Carolina in the preseason, talking about how well he played. He will pair with a number of different options, I imagine, because early in the season, obviously, you're mixing these combinations to seeing what works. But as he is on a line at the start with Philip Forsberg and Ryan O'Reilly, that's a combined 27 years of NHL experience and almost 2,000 games of experience that he benefits from. Kind of an interesting mix this year, Ramon, on this Preds team of new wave prospects that are starting to break through in a farm system and a Milwaukee Admirals team that general manager Barry Trotz has been really complimentary of. Yep. You get an interesting mix of that youth with some guys who are kind of at the end, obviously. And as Steven Stamkos well documented, Roman Josi is starting to get older. 34-year-old Ryan O'Reilly. Really interested to see what that team looks like. And look, as anyone in Nashville knows, our pro sports teams often do their best damage when they don't have a lot of expectations.
No doubt.
And that team is not going to have a whole lot of expectations and should be better than what they were a year ago if UC Saros just gets back to what he has been for most of his career, because he was not good last year.
And here's a good thing, too. If you go into Bridgestone, the Stone tonight, and you find yourself in a good situation. Preds are all-time 70-24-1 against them. And also inside of Bridgestone, they're 43-6. I mean, I'm not foreshadowing a dub, but that's
why not?
That's a good place to start at. Again, I'm interested to see what they're going to be. I got to get to a game. Last year, I don't think we even made it to a game last year. But of course, like football season will drive you crazy. But neither here nor there. Shout out to them, man. Season opener. You mentioned this the other day, and I overlooked it. To be quite honest with you, you said October's the greatest sports month in the world.
That's right.
WNBA playoffs are going on right now. Football is going on. Both of them. College, high school, and NFL.
Yep.
You got basketball tipping off this month also. And who else am I missing?
Playoff
hockey.
Baseball is hot.
It's hot. You were very ecstatic about a certain team losing. I don't know if I want to say that, but it was the Yankees. It was fascinating hearing you celebrate in here.
I just think it's just more so that the David Ortiz clips of him going, duh, Yankees lose, I think are really funny, because I think he's hilarious on television. It's more that I'm just amused by David Ortiz and the way he generally carries himself on Fox, more so than I am even just happy the Yankees lost. But I am sad. I think the Phillies ended up winning last night.
They did. They ended up powering back. Sure did.
It's a sick and twisted world when I'm cheering for the Dodgers, but that's where we're at.
Who was on the mound last night for the Dodgers? It was golly, he's a historical pitcher, great pitcher.
Yamamoto was, I think, got the start. Kershaw, I think, came in out of the pen. Yeah,
Kershaw got rocked.
Yeah, it kind of happens now.
He got rocked, man. It does. Listen, it's baseball. Everybody has your number every once in a while. But with that being said, back to the Preds. Go out.
Yes.
Go to the Stone, man. This is a kickoff, or not tip-off, not kickoff,
face-off.
Like football, face-off.
There you go.
And it's Nashville. You went to a Posty show last night. Might as well double up and go to a Bridgestone.
Sure. Yeah, hockey, basketball, soccer, playoff baseball, of course, conference football, and good NFL games because every week is good in the NFL because they're good at managing those things. It's a good time to be a sports fan. Very interested to see if the Preds have a little bit more of an edge to them.
Why do you say that?
I feel like the Nashville Predators are at their best when they embrace what got them to be one of the better organizations in this sport, which is being more physical, being tougher, being faster paced. And I just felt like there was a softness to Nashville Predators hockey last year that was not normal for them. And I don't know. I'm not calling any player soft, obviously. I just feel like they got to get back to being and embracing the underdog role this year. And those younger guys who are going to battle for time on the ice this year. And obviously, we mentioned Brady Martin, the 5th overall pick. But, I mean, Greg Wisniewski wrote about it at ESPN.com this week as well. Some of the other prospects and Fedor Svechkov will get in there. And some of those other younger names that we've heard are almost ready. Well, if things go south early for Andrew Burnett, obviously you could make a change there, or you could just, if you're Barry Trotz, have a complete fire sale in the winter and just let the kids see what they've got. So feels like in the middle of a rebuild for the Preds again, but as many veteran, over-the-hill kind of talented players they have who are just in their mid to late 30s, if they can rediscover some kind of form and UC Saros could just play better this year, maybe they're frisky. I don't know. We'll see.
Frisky is all you're looking for most times.
It is. With that team this year, as bad as things were last year, just be competitive when playoff push begins.
No doubt.
Last season, they got off to a really, really, really rough start. So, obviously, that is where you have to improve, and Philip Forsberg has talked about it. He talked to us about it last year on this show, talking about it. The Preds wanted to get off to a faster start, and then they were 7-16-6 in their first 29 games. Last season. Just can't happen. You can't put yourself out of contention and out of contact with the rest of the division to where you feel like you're playing meaningless games in January. Got to give yourself a chance.
Absolutely.
615-737-1045. There was a little bit of trash talk from Arkansas. Arkansas running back saying some things that I don't know are very smart to say. We'll talk about it next.
It's Ramon Foster for Medical House Calls, man. Here's the thing behind Medical House Calls. They understand scheduling. They understand that some people just don't like going to the doctor. They understand that you just may be too busy to actually go, and that's why they're offering themselves to you. And these aren't just, run-of-the-mill type of folks coming to your house. No, these are real doctors and nurses that are coming in to service you and figure out what is going on. They're available to you 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Same-day appointments are available, but next-day guarantee. If you can't get in then, or you got to reschedule yourself, you can call or even text them also at 615-838-2375. Again, I told you, a lot of us don't like going to the ER or sitting in those waiting rooms filled with a lot of germs and just get uncomfortable, or the fact that, your kids may just be wild in public. Well, you can do it now from the comfort of your home, where you don't have to uproot your kids and schedule to go to see a doctor. They offer at-home urgent care, everything from sicknesses, infections, injuries, in-home labs, testing, and more. For a flat fee, you can get a full evaluation, exam, treatment plan, and prescriptions if you need them. They also do IV therapy. I say it all the time. You're tired of trying to figure out the why. Well, guess what? They'll put into your body the stuff that you need to get it going. There's also immune boosting blends, rapid rehydration from partying all weekend or just life. Again, medicalhousecalls.com is the website, and make sure you tell them Ramon sent you.
Hey, it's Will Bowling. Are you having home electrical issues? Well, available 24/7. The Lee Company team handles electrical problems and more in short order. From routine repairs on outlets and switches to fixture upgrades and generator installations, their award-winning electricians will get the job done right the first time. We all have that to-do list of things that we've been needing to fix around the home. Maybe if you're like me, you start to mess with the electricity, you start to try to fix things yourself. Typically, I'll just mess up stuff that was actually working the right way. So you got to get Lead Company over there to take a look at things for you. LeadCompany.com is the website to schedule with an experienced electrician. Look, you got to trust the folks that have got 80 years plus of experience in Middle Tennessee. Lead Company is a staple in this community with 14 community locations. They're available 24/7, 365. You can call them at 615-567-1000 or head online to leadcompany.com. That's Lead Company, all you need.
It is 9:01. Good morning from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Jackson Williams. The Titans back on the practice field yesterday. Tony Pollard, L'Jarius Sneed, and Tyler Lockett all held out of practice for rest, along with Blake Hance, Marcus Harris, Van Jefferson, Arden Key, James Lynch, Jeffrey Simmons, and Joey Sly, all nursing injuries and out of practice yesterday. J.C. Latham returned to practice on a limited basis after missing the last 4 games with a hip injury. In other NFL news, the Jackson Browns agreed to a trade last last night as the Jaguars send cornerback Tyson Campbell and a 7th-rounder to Cleveland for cornerback Greg Newsome and a 6th-round selection. In the MLB, the Blue Jays take down the Yankees 5-2 to win that series 3-1 and advance to the ALCS. For your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Hour number 4, 9 a.m. is here already. Ramona Will is fueled by Scooters Coffee. We got our Scooters blend going this morning, and you can too in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. He is Ramon Foster. Jackson Williams is filling in for Justin Hawkins. I'm Will Bowling, and my losing streak is going to come to an end in 20 minutes. The Thursday 3, our Hour 4 routine, picks against the spread, and totals as we preview the upcoming football weekend. Jackson, you have picks to make today?
I do, and I also have Justin's pick.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh,
I had just texted him to see if he could give us picks. And
he sent them to me last night.
Oh,
Justin's alive?
I'm glad to know. We haven't heard from him, and that's the way we wanted it. We wanted him to properly have time off because no one should have to do any kind of work on vacation.
That is so true.
I love it. Arkansas running back Mike Washington talking a little bit, speaking with the media in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Tennessee and Arkansas squaring off Saturday afternoon in Neyland Stadium. Washington telling the media, quote, they have a great defense, but a lot of holes. A lot of holes in their defense. So it's going to be a fun game. Ramon Foster, your thoughts?
I'll say this. He ain't lying. I mean, it's not necessarily a big secret that the Vols defense has been giving it up in the run game. Looking at what Mississippi State did and Georgia did at times too. And, you know, just the part that he's not bringing up is also the pressure that it puts on your offense to always score too. There's more context to it. I wouldn't have said it out loud. I'd have just been one of those types of guys, man, they got a great defense, man. We're looking for opportunity to see if we can gain some yards. Like, that's the proper thing to say. But here's the thing. They got a new coach bump that's putting a whole lot of intel in front of their faces, probably more than they ever have had. And they've had a long week of being able to be off for the bye week, too. There's a lot that he's seen, and I'm sure he's expecting it to expose against his defense. The issue that he has is how is his offensive line going to respond to it? How are they going to be able to deal with that noise on the road? Like, here's a team that's also, I know Mike said, you know, they could be 4-1, 3-2, but they've also lost to Memphis. And I'm not, you know, belittling Memphis at any situation at all, but they lost to them. They got ran out of their building by Notre Dame. Let's talk about what your offense was capable of doing against them. Yeah. Like, you did not much at all. So, he could also say that they have a hard time on getting the football outside the pocket. Like, those are the things you got to answer in this upcoming week for themselves.
Yeah. I think it's going to be interesting.
I like it.
Tennessee's secondary against this Arkansas passing game and what Taylon Green can do. Taylon Green could make this game really interesting. Really could. Because I think this is the kind of team that Tennessee could struggle against. I don't think Tennessee's going to struggle against Arkansas. Just this team, I think this is the kind of team that will be able to move the ball a little bit on Tennessee. The question becomes, how many of the issues in your run defense does David Hobbs and now a healthier Jackson Moy fix? I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. I think we start to get the answer to that this weekend and definitely next weekend down in Tuscaloosa. How many, Ramon, do you think of those problems you think David Hobbs can solve just by being back as Tennessee's best defensive lineman?
A good bit, because he's a rotational piece. He's an experienced player. You have more depth in that. So those type of situations. I do think, looking at the Mississippi State game, I would even say Georgia, they got wore down. I absolutely think, like, the rotation that those guys had from time to time is they couldn't get off the field and they couldn't make the plays they needed to because they got wore down. The tempo in which teams have tried to attack the Vols defense too, I think you somewhat take some of that away when you have more depth in a guy like David Hobbs. You have also, and I feel like we saw that from Jackson Moy. the new guy push that you get. Jackson Moore was able to affect the quarterbacks in ways up the middle, specifically early in the game against Mississippi State, that I don't think we've seen. His ability to penetrate, and I think that's the same thing for David Hobbs too, is you got guys now that can not only stop the run, but they can affect you in the quarterback, affect the quarterback up the middle too. That's what he's bringing to you. Being able to hold the point and create chaos. Those two dudes do that, I think, better than the guys they have right now that's been playing a good bit for them.
Yeah.
Trash talk, and I'll give this to Mike Washington too, running back from Arkansas. He's a quick downhill hitter. He's got speed. He had a breakaway run against Ole Miss. He plays well. He had good runs against Notre Dame too. He feels very confident in himself. The question he got to ask himself is, if it's not him, if he gets stopped, are they willing to put their quarterback in harm's way again?
Fair. Defensively, Arkansas is really bad against the run. Worst run defense of the SEC, 168 yards per game allowed. New defensive coordinator Chris Wilson, who most recently was the DC for the Houston Roughnecks last spring in the UFL, has been at Colorado, has coached in the NFL as a position coach. He replaces the now fired Travis Williams. There is a question, really, to Ramon, what Arkansas could try to do defensively, just because that side of the ball has very new leadership. I think you know who Arkansas is on offense. I just am not really super worried about that, because I think there's only so much you can really do to cover up how bad that Arkansas run defense is. And if you can't stop the run, you can't beat Tennessee. You just can't. Unless you score 50 or 60 plus. Like, Josh Heupel teams, when they run well, are just kind of unstoppable. That's a big if, because there are teams that can stop the run, Georgia being the main one time and time again. But I don't see this Tennessee offense having much resistance on Saturday unless they beat themselves.
And that's what it's going to have to be like. If you look at Arkansas's tape, like, their secondary getting bad spots when it comes down to stopping the run. They're, especially against Ole Miss and especially against Notre Dame, they had bad situations. Memphis, too. Watching them be incapable of filling the gaps was huge. Now, Mike had a really good point. Mike Keefe did by saying they're big. That's the thing about them being big. You keep them out there on the field and you run them side to side. That's where that up-tempo offense for the Vols can be problematic for them. Now, again, you mentioned them being bad against the run. I think it's because they're too big. They have a new coach. You mentioned him. He, like I said, I referenced him being at Cincinnati for a little while. And Cincinnati moves a lot up front when he was their defensive line coach. Now, here's the other part about Cincinnati's defensive line. When the new defensive line coach was there, they were smaller, more agile. Arkansas's got some big-body dudes that like to lean on you. And when those dudes get tired, this could be a long broadcast for me and Mike, is what I'm saying. They're going to fall to the ground.
Yeah.
They absolutely are falling to the ground to stop and control tempo. Other side of this is, to your point about gaps on defense. I think the Vols are good being able to run downfield with them in the secondary region. It does come down to the double threat. I don't even want to call it triple threat. The double threat of what Mike Washington, their big running back also, and Taylor Green being able to run the football. Braylon Russell.
Yeah, that's a big boy.
Mike Washington and Taylor Green, being able to keep them at the line of scrimmage has to be huge. If that's what he's talking about, the holes, he's right.
Yeah.
That's what any team, though. It has success against everybody doing that.
I am optimistic that David Hobbs makes a big impact, because I think David Hobbs also allows you to rotate Bryson Eason a little bit more. It allows you to put Dom Bailey back on the outside at edge, where he can play now opposite of Caleb Herring or Jordan Ross and obviously Josh Josephs. I think that's where Tennessee can solve a lot of its issues on defense, setting the edge against outside runs, is have Dom Bailey play edge again.
Yes.
Because he is a bigger guy and is more of a Danico Autry type edge or outside guy than the smaller, speedier guys that Tennessee has had on both those ends right now. And Tyree Weathersby, too, kind of fits that same mold. You get the best out of all those linemen when they don't have to play as much. Everyone becomes a lot more efficient.
Yes, they do.
Titans yesterday with J.C. Latham limited. Getting him back seems to be a priority. I would say I'm optimistic that J.C. Latham plays football for the Tennessee Titans on Sunday against the Las Vegas Raiders. Ramon, for someone like that with a groin injury, I know you mentioned you are not personally familiar with that injury specifically, but how quickly can he get back up to speed and look like himself again?
Look like himself again? I give him about 2 games. And that depends upon the opponent, too, and what the game plan is for him. If you're asking him to get in space or drop back 40 times to protect, it can be problematic for him. The best way for an offensive lineman to get adjusted is to be able to run the football and stay on the field. That, to me, is the biggest thing. We heard Coach Mack speak about that. Like, third down situations have to be a whole lot easier. Brian Callahan brought that up, too. Mm-hmm. It's easier for your bigs, especially a guy like him, to acclimate himself if he's got a rhythm. If he can't catch a rhythm, there's nothing that's going to acclimate him quicker at all. I think that was some of the issues that they've had offensively. That last drive that the Titans had to go down and score, that was rhythm. That was having success, not having drops, and being able to run strategically, even if it was just 3 yards at a time. For him, it's a matter of engulfing him into a simple game plan, and that may be what you need to do against the Raiders this upcoming weekend.
I think this game comes at a really good time for Tennessee. I think there is a major opportunity, Ramon, on Sunday in Vegas for the Titans to build off of what happened in Phoenix in the fourth quarter. I think the team feels that in the locker room. I still don't think they've dropped their heads or given up by any stretch of the imagination. The overall feeling in that room is, I think, still somewhat positive considering their record and the way they've played in some of these games. I just feel like something may have clicked with Cam where he finally understood taking the easy stuff. We saw him getting the ball to the tight ends. I had a conversation with Chikakonkwo yesterday that I thought was really positive about those guys being yak guys.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that Cam is understanding is that, Chig is going to be able to turn some 5-yard routes into some 15-yard gains the way he did on Sunday. And I think that some elements of that offense earned Cam Ward's trust. The scheme, I think he's starting to trust what his eyes are seeing, which is what Mike Borgonzi told me pregame that he wanted to see from Cam. Just trust your eyes.
Right.
I think the protection, I think he's trusting his pocket a little bit more to say, all right, I have more time now to go to my second read because of the stable platform that I have to stand from. And I think the guys catching the football are starting to catch it. Calvin Ridley said yesterday, if he's throwing fastballs, we got to catch him. Said it's not a Cam problem. If he's throwing fastballs, that's on us to go get it.
Wow.
Like, all right, we'll hold you to that. But I think the point stands that you're not seeing as many bad drops. Calvin is starting to look like Calvin. Again, it's one game. I think that there is an opportunity to build on that momentum against a young, inexperienced, and shaky, at best, secondary. Jeremy Chinn's good. The other 4 guys that started that nickel package, there's no one in that secondary that scares you other than Jeremy Chinn, the safety.
Best thing Cam can do for himself going into this weekend is realizing every situation is different, though. He can't expect Arizona results with a totally different team.
Sure.
That's the growth.
Sure.
That's the only mention I have on that one.
Good point. 615-737-1045. Picks against the spread for the football weekend. The Thursday 3 is next. Thursday morning continues on Ramon and Will. Scooter's Coffee brings us to you, and Scooter's Coffee is the best way to kick off a Friday Junior, a Monday, a Wednesday, anything in between. Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet, where you go by and see them. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. In the Thursday 3, I have got work to do. My goodness.
Catch up, Will.
Ugly. I was 6-3. I'm now 6-12. Justin Hawkins is 12-6 after hitting Georgia and the Cleveland Browns last week. You are also 2-1 a week ago. You got Georgia and Syracuse SMU under. Syracuse struggling without Steve Angeli at quarterback as well.
How in the heck they still beat Clemson?
Well, talk about struggle bus. It's a different world for Dabo at the moment. And you also missed on Penn State, as most of us did, because UCLA decided to field a football team last week for the first time.
And I think I'm revisiting them again, maybe.
Okay. All right.
Maybe.
Well, let's let our guest this morning begin. Jackson Williams. First pick, please.
First pick. I'm going USF. They're underdogs on the road at North Texas.
All right.
I've got USF plus 1.5.
Okay. Bold.
I feel like that's free money.
North Texas is pretty good this year. But okay. Let's do it. USF, the Bulls. You're riding with Alex Golish. What is Justin's first pick?
1 second. Let me pull that up.
Okay.
Right.
Let's let Ramon go the second.
I'll
we'll
go
with that
second,
order.
Dan, right here. I'm actually going to do it. I'm jumping deep into it, man. Screw it, Will.
Okay.
Oklahoma versus Texas. Give me the plus 1.5 Oklahoma.
Okay.
They're the number 6 ranked team. I mean, there's still got to be some good bones about it. And again, I'm a sucker for stuff like this when I ain't got real money on it, but I like this one.
It seems
it's a rivalry.
Too obvious. It really does. Which is why my first pick is Texas minus 1.5 against Oklahoma. Moments like this, Vegas is too good. When 80% of the money is on one side, they are really good at being on the other side and being on the right side. Texas is 53rd nationally in rush yards per attempt. Their running backs ran it 9 times for 11 yards against Florida. They're still only giving up 2.5 yards per rush on defense. They're allowing 79 rushing yards per game. Texas still has, despite the fact that their offense has done them no favors, the 5th best scoring defense in the country. I think Oklahoma struggles to move the ball on Texas. I think John Mateer is not 100%, even if he does play. And if it's Michael Hawkins, then I think Texas feasts on an Oklahoma offense that is not super dynamic, but has been good enough to complement their defense. Where I think this game is won is in desperation.
Okay.
In college football, desperation matters. Oklahoma doesn't need this game. Texas does. And that's not to say Oklahoma is not going to approach this like it is a rivalry, because this is the Red River Shootout, by God. This matters for a lot more than just playoff implications.
Facts.
That being said, I just think Texas makes enough big plays because they have to have it. And they are just too talented to be this bad for much longer. Okay. I think they figure it out. I think that staff comes together and that line plays well enough to let Arch Manning look a little bit more like himself. So give me Texas minus 1.5.
All right, I got you.
Taking
a
risk with that one, but whatever.
I guess with a lot of other people who now, I just don't think I can trust Arch until Arch have a big moment like this.
And this might be it.
Yep, it could be.
We will see. We will see. Justin's first pick, Jackson, is what?
Alabama versus Missouri over. I like this pick.
Oh, I don't. I think that is going to be a slugfest. 51.5 is a big number for Bama Mizzou. I think the Missouri defense is a really big question just in the SEC as a whole in the playoff race, because Missouri and the pressure they've been able to get on opposing quarterbacks has been significant, but who have they played on offensive lines around the country, right? They've not played a lot of great lines. They've not played a team like Alabama in this kind of passing game that can get the ball out quickly, and these kinds of receivers as well. But I do think Missouri's ability to stop the run is going to make things really tough on Ty Simpson and Alabama. I like that defensive front.
Okay.
We'll see. But Justin's going over, all right? Over 51.5 for Bama Mizzou. What's your second pick?
All right, I'm going, man, I love the Lions, and I think they go to KC and get a win in prime time.
Wow.
Again,
Okay.
I got the Lions plus 2.5.
Oof. Talk about desperation.
Desperation in
Very
Kansas
much
City.
so.
Chiefs are in desperation.
The Lions are just so good, man, especially in the regular season.
That's fair. That was risky. I just don't like any kind of wagers on Chiefs games because they do so much weird stuff just to close out a game. Like they'll go for it on fourth downs where most teams would kick and help them cover, or they'll take a knee and kick, and a lot of moments where teams would just score. Just the weird Jedi mind tricks. And they work. They win the games. It's just from a betting perspective, it can make things very challenging.
No doubt.
Your second pick, Ramon, is what?
My second pick is going to be, just because you mentioned desperation, and I believe in that too, Northwestern, Penn State.
Oh, okay.
Penn State's favorite, and they always cover the spread, supposedly, right?
Mm-hmm.
21.5. I had them covering 21.5 last week against
You had
UCLA.
24.5.
It was 24. That's the problem right there. No way does he not embarrass anybody that's not Ohio State or big-time premier team. Northwestern has been,
I agree.
What are they in football?
Terrible.
Respectfully.
Without
Okay.
Pat Fitzgerald, terrible.
And this is that type of game that if they can put up 88 points, they will, and try to get back into the top 25. An unranked Penn State team this weekend covers because James Franklin absolutely needs it.
Okay.
21.5.
I like that pick. I think it's a good pick. No doubt.
He burned me last week.
He did. Georgia has burned me this season. I thought Georgia would beat Alabama, and I felt really good about it, and obviously they didn't. But I'm going to dance with who brung me. I think this is a big spot for Georgia. I think this is a team that goes to Auburn as only a 3.5-point favorite, and I'm not going to overthink it. Georgia, minus 3.5. I think a one-dimensional offense like Auburn's struggles against a defense like Georgia's. You look at the two weaknesses of these teams when Auburn has the ball. Auburn can't block for Jackson Arnold, who can't throw over the middle. Georgia has had some vulnerabilities in their secondary that we're not used to with Georgia teams, and Georgia does not get after the passer. Which weakness pops up more? Is it Georgia's secondary allows the Auburn offense to be better over the middle and deep down the field? Or is it an Auburn offensive line and a quarterback that is so bad in protecting the QB that a Georgia defensive front that doesn't get after the quarterback all that much is able to get home? I think it's the latter. I'm going to bet on Georgia's defensive front benefiting from a really bad Auburn line, which on paper should just be way better. Should just be way better than it is. There is no reason for Auburn to look like this on their offensive line. So I'm going to go Georgia. Weird things happen in Jordan-Hare Stadium at night. That's the only thing that gives me pause about this. And talk about desperation again. Hugh Freeze needs it, but I think Georgia can match that level of desperation because if they want to go to Atlanta and if they want to be a playoff team, this is one they kind of got to have because they still got Texas looming. They still have other big games that are on the horizon. They still got Georgia Tech, which is far from a gimme, even though that game's going to be played in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which is just atrocious and negligent by all parties. I like Georgia. I'm not going to overthink it. I don't like betting against home dogs, especially in primetime, but I'm going to do so in this.
That's the reason I picked the fourth game. I had a feeling.
Yeah. All right. Justin's second pick is what?
Tennessee, minus 12.5 against Arkansas.
Okay.
Okay, Hawk.
All right.
I respect it.
I respect it, too.
Yeah, we're a little too invested in that one, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. And I never bet on the Vols. Like, just...
Smart.
Just a rule of mine.
I don't know.
Not
That
superstitious, just a little stitious.
Tennessee, Arkansas, from a betting perspective, is a challenge because Arkansas is going to put up points. Arkansas will score some points at this game.
Oh, yeah.
It's the unknown of that defense and what it looks like against Tennessee that I think is challenging. And I know I just got done saying I think Tennessee can run the ball well enough to where I don't think that matters, which is still, I still obviously believe that, but I don't know. Interesting one. Plus, when you have a 12.5-point spread like that, you are susceptible to garbage time touchdowns from the opponent, ruining your pick.
That's what I was going to say. I'm afraid a late Arkansas touchdown could really mess up that spread.
Yep. Fair. Okay. Jackson?
Final pick. The 49ers are too hurt, man. I got the Bucks minus 3.
Okay.
I think that's an easy one.
Yeah, I don't mind that one either. I like it. Bucks -3 against
It's
San
in
Francisco.
Tampa.
It is in Tampa. Yeah, solid. All right.
Yeah.
It's a good pick.
I bet I was looking at something from my guy, was it Pete Nakos? I was going to say Beach Nakos, but we don't want to disparage something like that.
Beach Nakos. That's crazy. If you're unfamiliar, go search Nick Iamaliava and Nakos on Twitter.
I hadn't
You'll be
tweeted in a
familiar.
while.
Yeah, no, he hasn't
been a
tweeted
minute.
since. He called Pete Nakos that word.
The beach word. But he's got more information on Bill Belichick in
Okay,
Carolina.
we'll get to that here in a minute.
Yeah.
Your second pick, or your third pick, please, Ramon.
My third pick, man, I got a thing for the best team in Georgia.
Georgia Tech.
You best believe it.
If you're just now joining us for this segment, Ramon loves Haynes King. Ramon goes to bed wearing Haynes King pajamas every night.
I do. I'm going to find me a throwback jersey of his, the old Georgia Tech style that they had, and I'm gonna rock a Haynes King's jersey, man. But they didn't cover last weekend. Man, actually went into overtime with Wake Forest last weekend, but they still won. It's a sign of a good team right there, man. They can put up points. Virginia Tech is beaten down just a little bit, man, as a squad. But Georgia Tech's favored 14.5. I'm taking the 14.5.
Okay,
I like that one.
I don't mind it. Not at all.
At home, also 3:30 afternoon. Yeah, Haynes King gonna be on his stuff. I got this one.
I'm going with another favorite for my third pick this time in the NFL. I think the Indianapolis Colts roll over the Arizona Cardinals. Give me Colts -6.5 against Arizona this weekend at home. I don't know how healthy Kyler Murray is. I know he's day-to-day this week with the foot injury, and I think Indy is just a really good team. I think it's that simple. I like them to cover a touchdown at home. I think that's a number of consequence. When you can get 6.5, you take it, because that is a number where obviously often teams win by 7.
No doubt. I'm glad you brought up the Colts too, because when we were speaking about what was it, real or fake teams?
Yeah.
The other day.
You think they're legit?
I do think the Colts are legit, and I didn't think we talked. I didn't bring them up. You didn't either. Jackson didn't either. But like the conversation of are they legit or not? I've been waiting on Daniel Jones to show the old him. The one game that they ended up losing was just a game. They
lost it.
They lost.
They made some big mistakes in that game.
And it was 80 Mitchell. I mean, everybody that had it. Josh Downs, I think, that dropped the ball. Like, there was a lot that did not go right for them. But it seems to me with the offense and defense that they have, at the rate that they can score and the way the defense is playing too, I ain't gonna say that's an easy bet because of the NFL. But plus, I mean, -6. Oh my gosh, you take that one all day long. I don't know what Daniel Jones is going to be, but it looks to me may end up being the franchise quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts moving forward.
Jack on YouTube says he's Indiana Jones now. Yeah, that's his new nickname.
Is it really
Indiana Jones?
Why didn't I say that already?
I don't know.
Jack,
it's been a nickname for a little while.
Thank you, Jack. He is Indiana Jones right now. And they got a squad that's doing this together. Lou Anarumo, Jim Bob Cooter as coordinators.
That's fair.
They got it together.
Your final pick, Justin, through Jackson.
He's got the Bengals. He believes in Joe Flacco plus 14 against the Packers.
Oh, 14 is so many points. That's a lot. So many points. Joe Flacco's been bad this year, too.
Yes.
2 touchdowns, 6 interceptions through 4 starts.
Is it really?
It's disgusting.
Is that the Browns or him?
Yes. It's disgusting.
They're doing as much as they possibly can to get them the top pick this year.
I think Packers off a bye week. Oof. I wouldn't touch that either way. 14's a lot of points, but
Hold up. I'm just thinking about who's rushing after him, the offensive line that Joe Flacco got. Michael Parsons is going to eat.
yeah. Micah Parsons against the Bengals O-line.
Brother.
Ooh.
They sent him to retirement is what they did.
Yeah.
This could get ugly fast.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jackson.
for real.
This going to be bad.
Vibes are not good in Cincinnati.
No.
Here he goes. Here comes the Steeler in him. Here comes the AFC North 8. Come on, let's hear it.
Every time.
Let's hear it.
Every time they have something good, like they're doing the right stuff. They just one or two players from hanging on to them for far too long, or they can't.
Sorry, we're talking about Cincinnati or Cleveland?
Yeah, Cincinnati at this point.
Because
Like,
Cleveland, you could say this exact same thing about.
they're one and the same.
Yeah.
They are, and
It's tough.
I'm not going to go any further. Y'all got everything that you want.
You definitely want
in
to.
a franchise. And you just can't – imagine calling Joe Flacco and say, hey, bro, we need you. Nobody ever had that in the bullpen that Joe Flacco was going to come and, save the day for you. We speak about all the time, the backup quarterback that you have. And maybe Jake Browning just played enough to continue to fake us out. Clearly, that was the case.
Yeah.
But you gave up a draft pick or whatever it was to go get Joe Flacco to save you because you got disgruntled wide receivers.
You're trying hard not to crash out
I am.
over incompetent AFC North franchises.
I hate when teams have stars like this or they're in an era. Shout out to Taylor Swift. They're in an era.
There you go.
And they don't understand, you got to go now. That was getting that offensive line together.
Sure.
That was the coaching staff protecting Joe Burrow as much as they possibly could. And all he did was get his foot smashed into the turf because either y'all won't change the turf and go to grass or he's in a position where you can't protect him.
On3 has reporting this morning what sources are saying behind the scenes about North Carolina. Tar Heels coming off a 38-10 loss to Clemson brings them to 2-3. They have yet to beat a Power 4 team. Pete Nako says, despite all the reports, as of 4:30 p.m. Central on Wednesday, Bill Belichick remains the coach as they prepare for a trip to Cal next Friday. Sources have cautioned On3 about reports on Wednesday about an impending coaching move, indicating that a midseason move at this point remains unlikely, but the situation is fluid. Sources told On3 on Thursday morning that Belichick was working the phones into Wednesday night, speaking with UNC recruits and addressing any questions. Nothing to see here. Everything is fine.
Imagine Bill Belichick calling you, say he's going to keep his job. Never have we ever thought of that.
It's just a weird image. Bill Belichick working phones and recruiting.
But you remember that was the thing about him having, what's the GM name again?
Michael Lombardi.
Michael Lombardi.
Yep.
Lombardi was supposed to be that guy.
Well, both, right? Even GM run programs, you still need the coach to do the personal.
To be the closer. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. But the conversation earlier on was that Bill was just going to do football things.
Oh, I think this counts as a football thing, though, right? The GM will identify the players, and the coach goes and recruits the players.
I took it as if he was X's and O's in the field. Maybe I was wrong in my thought process.
The GM can call players. I don't know the rules on that. I'll be honest.
I just thought it was the rest of his coaching staff.
Maybe.
Not Bill.
Sure.
Bill got dinner dates to go to. They ain't got to have energy.
Hopefully by 5:30.
Shout out to Mack Brown, too, for tweeting out what Bill Belichick
great?
Should have done.
Mack Brown's just living his best life on social media, just posting golf pictures with the boys, just thriving.
And beautiful changing of leaves.
Uh-huh.
That's what Bill should be doing, man. But I get it, man. You got to have a whole lot of energy to reinvigorate yourself with the new boot thing.
Coming up, Pete Nakos also has names in the college football carousel. Early names to know for open jobs at UCLA, Oklahoma State, Arkansas, Virginia Tech, and Stanford. Coming up next. Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooters Coffee, wrapping up your Thursday morning. Coming up tomorrow, Brent Hubbs, whose birthday it is today. Happy birthday, Brent. Along with Ron Slay. Little Tennessee, Arkansas preview, little Titans, Raiders, a little bit of whatever else comes our way.
Some good vibes is what we got going on.
That
today,
is
man,
absolutely
on a Friday
right.
Junior.
That is absolutely right. But Grazzy got you covered up next. On Three's Pete Nakos has names emerging. I love this time of year. I love early names to know. I'm addicted to hot boards.
Are you?
I love a hot board of here are the names that are in the mix. Let's go to Arkansas first.
Yeah.
Early phases of its coaching search, among the popular names being thrown out, SMU's Rhett Lashley, Tulane's John Summerall, USF's Alex Golish, and North Texas's Eric Morris. Interim head coach Bobby Petrino has a, quote, legitimate shot to land the job, depending on how his stint as interim goes that begins this weekend in Tennessee. Lashley has publicly dismissed the ties, but Arkansas is not going to let the former Razorbacks quarterback turn them down that easily. Deion Sanders' ties to Hunter Yurachek also mentioned, but speculation around that has cooled off. Meanwhile, and Pete Nakos just throws this in at the end and just says, meanwhile, Dan Mullen's off to a 5-0 start this year. Okay.
What is that supposed to mean?
Thanks, Jimmy Sexton. Virginia Tech, On Three first reported that Bruce Arians is in the mix in helping pick that coach, not in the mix for the job. Top priority at Vodtech was to hire a GM. But sources in the last 24 to 48 hours say they're identifying candidates. Among the names, James Madison's Bob Chesney.
Again?
If Peyton's listening, I'm sorry. It's my fiance who went to JMU. Memphis's Ryan Silverfield. They already went the former Memphis coach route once with Justin Fuente. I guess they could go to.
Well, apparently Memphis' situation was the coach is willing to be a lifetime guy, and they pretty much shunned at him for a second. So I mean, it's right for him to look outside now.
Yeah. Southern Miss's Charles Huff. Toledo's Jason Candle. I think that's the name that's going to pop up. Two sitting Power 4 head coaches to know are Clark Lee and Shane Beamer. Clark Lee ain't going to Virginia Tech.
I was going to say, can they leave Clark alone?
There is no way.
He ain't going nowhere.
Once again, congratulations to Clark Lee's agent on getting him a raise. You know the name that's been tied to UCLA that I think would be hilarious? It's so much fun.
Butch Jones?
No.
Jeremy Pruitt?
No. A former Tennessee. No, stop. A former Tennessee assistant coach. Former Tennessee assistant coach.
Former.
Tied to UCLA.
Jim Chaney.
Nope.
Ooh.
That's a current Tennessee assistant coach.
Is it?
Yeah.
Former? I ain't got a clue.
He once famously told recruits not to go to class. He has a national championship ring.
Ed Orgeron.
He is Ed Orgeron.
Ed? He back in?
Apparently his name is cooled off. But he has been mentioned, yes.
I mean, all he gonna do is go out there and get another buyout. I'd do it too. It's L.A.
Multiple sources have told On Three to keep an eye on Washington's Jed Fish, former UCLA OC and interim head coach who spent 2 years with the L.A. Rams. Washington 4-1 to start the year. One loss to Ohio State. Has a buyout of $10 million if he leaves Seattle. I don't know if I'd take that job if I'm Jed Fish.
It just seems like an anti-football place.
UCLA?
UCLA. Yeah. More than USC or any other West Coast team. Like, they're anti-football.
100% right. Baylor's Dave Aranda. That's a really interesting name if he wanted to get back to California. That'd be, I think, the best move they could make. Honestly. Unless you wanted to take a risk on Tosh Lapoy or, Will Stein, either of the Oregon coordinators. Arizona's Brent Brennan. Also mentioned in that job. Oklahoma State, I think Falcons OC Zach Robinson is the name to beat there. He's mentioned in here. There's a ton of names mentioned at Oklahoma State.
I'd do that one.
G.J. Kinney, Todd Monken, North Texas head coach Eric Morris, famously Cam Ward's offensive coordinator earlier in his career, twice, 2 different stops. Will Stein, Dana Holgerson, Nebraska OC mentioned for Oklahoma State. Shannon Dawson, Miami OC. He's going to get a job.
Yep.
Then Oklahoma OC, who's about as old as I am, Ben Arbuckle, also mentioned for Oklahoma State. That would be a classic Big 12 hire. Just go get the most fun coordinator you can who's like young, quarterback-centric, big risk, but big reward.
That sounds like Alex Golish to Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I
think he's too good for that job.
You think so?
Yes.
Oh, I would have said he can bring them back to prominence. I mean, being in the Big 12 too right now is still wide open, except for you got Texas Tech about to run the gambit, it seems like, in the next couple of years over there.
I think they're about to own that conference.
Yeah, what literally?
You're right. They have bought the Big 12.
How much do you pour in until you're like, all right, y'all got it from here at this point?
Well,
I mean, everybody got some bread here and there, but how much do you keep pouring? Get a natty and then you done.
Cody Campbell is the guy.
Phil Knight, I guess, does it with Oregon.
I don't even think Phil Knight has Cody Campbell money.
Straight up.
Oil money is a little different than shoe money.
But I heard it. I don't know what his is, but I heard it was like $2 billion or something. Phil got to be up there $9 to $12 billion.
Phil's been kind of on the record though, saying like, "Well, I'm not made of money."
Phil.
I know.
The pants, the shoes, and the socks I got on come from you.
I know.
Yeah, you do.
Stanford, Andrew Luck, obviously hiring the coach. One name that continues to come up is Washington Commanders quarterbacks coach Tavita Pritchard, who has been friends with Andrew Luck since they played together on the farm at Stanford. Best campus in the country. I love Stanford.
Stanford?
Yes.
I didn't get much of it when we rolled past it.
So cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
I didn't think much of it.
We'll be there in 2 months for Titans and 49ers because that stadium is closer to Stanford than it is to San Francisco.
It is. You gonna go see the bridge?
Sure. I've seen it once.
I hadn't seen it. I ain't gonna see it last time because I had a game to play. We
Get
had
some
some dudes
sourdough.
did go catch the Golden Gate Bridge, but of course we lost, so sucks.
Tough.
You
You guys always struggled out west.
We did.
From what Jarvis always talked about, our former producer. And
never
Steelers
did
fan.
good out west. Not like that. That ride sucked coming back often.
Interesting.
No, it's not. It's terrible. It's terrible. Hate West Coast.
I'm sorry.
No. Getting a win on the West Coast, man, it changes everything. I don't know what it was about it. We even tried leaving in the morning a couple times. Didn't work.
Interesting.
And we were better than the teams we was playing. We're talking about backup quarterbacks beating us out there.
Talk about backups.
We won with Duck, though. Devlin Hodges.
Laney Wilson's, man.
We did. We beat the Chargers out there when we were playing in a soccer stadium. Respectfully, I say that, Will.
It's okay. I didn't take it disrespectfully.
It's all good.
Eagles-Giants tonight on Thursday Night Football. We'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll talk about Ramon's tired of the NFC East. We'll talk about Tennessee-Arkansas, Titans-Raiders, and we will talk to you bright and early, 6 a.m.
No doubt. Mr. Keith put in our chat, Belmont campus is top 10. Yes.
Absolutely.
That is a beautiful campus, man. But at all times, your Twitter fingers and your mic is always hot.